Herkese merhaba. Birazdan yayınımıza başlıyoruz. Bir dakika verirseniz katılımlar olduğunu görüyorum. Bir 20 saniye içinde başlayacağız. Evet, katılımlar oluyor, görüyorum ben ama başlayalım. Gelenler de başladıkları yerden devam ederler. Herkese merhaba, ben Semra Yalçın Doğan. Yayına dediğimiz gibi yeni katılanlar oluyor. Onlara da hoş geldiniz diyorum. Hepiniz hoş geldiniz. 20 yıldır British Council'da çalışıyorum. Eğitim müdürüyüm. Uzmanlık alanım Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitim. Bugünkü yayınımızda Great bursları hakkında bilgiler vermek istiyorum. Benim ardımdan sizinle paylaşılan programa göre 14 Birleşik Krallık Üniversitesi kendi üniversitelerini ve bursla ilgili spesifik bilgileri paylaşmak üzere burada bizimle olacak. Her bir üniversite için sorularınızı sunum sırasında yazarsanız, yani o üniversitenin sunumları sırasında yazarsanız ben kendilerine soruları yönelteceğim. Sunuma başlayabiliriz ama öncesinde belki bir British Council'dan bahsetmek iyi olabilir. British Council, Birleşik Krallığın kültürel ilişkiler ve eğitim fırsatlarından sorumlu uluslararası kuruluşudur. 100'ü aşkın ülkeyle kültür, sanat, İngilizce ve eğitim alanlarında çalışıyoruz. Çalışmalarımızı fırsat eşitliği, global politikamıza göre yürütüyoruz ve toplumun her kesimini çalışmalarımıza dahil ediyoruz. Ben şimdi izninizle sunumumu paylaşıyorum. Ve bir sunumu da ekranda bir saniye kendimle birlikte paylaşacağım. Hemen. Evet. Tam ekran olarak görüldüğünü düşünüyorum. Şimdi Birleşik Krallık'ta birazcık bazı bilgiler vermek istiyorum öncelikle. Birleşik Krallık, daha doğrusu Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitimle ilgili bilgiler vermek istiyorum. Biz kimiz kısmını size biraz önce bahsettim. Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitim alacak arkadaşlarımız açısından şunu söyleyebilirim. Alacağınız eğitim dünyanın her yerinde geçerli bir üniversite olacak, eğitim olacaktır ve dünya standartlarında bir eğitim alacaksınız. Tüm dünyadaki işverenlerin de kabul gördüğü bir diplomaya sahip olacaksınız ve tabii ki Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitiminiz sırasında tanıştığınız öğrenciler, diğer öğrenciler arkadaşlarınız olacak. Neden Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitim diye bakacak olursak, bir kere İngilizcenin ev sahibi olması önemli. Herkesi sıcak karşılayan bir kültürü bulunuyor. Olağanüstü bir kültürel deneyim sağlıyor. Bunların hepsini uzun uzun anlatabiliriz ama çok fazla detaya girmek istemiyorum. Bilim, araştırma ve inovasyonda en iyisi, farklı düşünmeyi teşvik ediyor. Birleşik Krallık'ın en önemli özelliklerinden biri, öğrenciyi içine çeken bir eğitim sistemi sunuyor. Sınıf ortamında belki %20 öğrenciler sınıf ortamında bulunuyor ama onun geri kalan, oradan yani dersteki zamandan kalan zamanlarda ise grup çalışmaları, işte makale yazımı, okuyup hazırlanıp derse gelme, seminerlere katılım gibi bir formatta geçiyor. Öğrenciler aslında çok yönlü olarak kendilerini geliştiriyor ve iş hayatına hazırlıyor. Master programına başvuracaksınız. Master programları 1 yıllık yoğun programlar, 2 yıllık bir eğitim 1 yılda aldığınızı düşünürsek, girdiğiniz, yani okula, üniversiteye adımınızı attığınız andan itibaren oldukça yoğun bir programa başlıyor oluyorsunuz. Biz hatta öğrencilerden şunu duyuyoruz, bundan not düşmek istiyorum. İlk bir ay gerçekten bu bir anda yaşama alışma süreci, üniversiteye alışma süreci, oryantasyon, hemen derslerin başlaması ve derslere hazırlanıp gitme, işte okunacak makaleler vesaire oluyor. İlk bir ay öğrencilerin hiç sesi çıkmıyor. Çünkü dediğimiz gibi yoğun bir ortama, bir eğitim dönemine, eğitim ve yaşam dönemine girmiş oluyorlar. Birleşik Krallık'ta alacağınız eğitimle diğer öğrencilerden bir adım önde olacaksınız. Bunu söylemeye herhalde gerek yoktur diye düşünüyorum. CV'nizde çok güzel duracak bir şekilde Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitimin faydasını göreceksiniz. Endüstriyle güçlü bağlantıların olması Birleşik Krallık'taki eğitim açısından övündüğümüz bir özelliktir. Sektörle, yani iş hayatıyla üniversiteler sürekli irtibat halinde olduğu için eğitiminiz iş hayatının gerekliliklerine göre tasarlanır ve edindiğiniz bilgiler mezuniyet sonrası direkt aslında uygulayabileceğiniz bilgiler oluyor. Bu da Birleşik Krallık'ın dediğim gibi önemli özelliklerinden biri. Ve tabii ki mezuniyet sonrası Birleşik Krallık'ta kalma hakkı. Great bursiyerleri, eminim sizden bu soru gelecektir. Great bursiyerleriyle ilgili benim bildiğim herhangi bir engel bulunmuyor. Türkiye'ye dönme şartı yani %100 aranmıyor ama bir destekte de bulunmuyoruz. Bir mektup vesaire referansa ihtiyacınız olduğunuzda bunu yapamıyoruz diye biliyorum. Kendi imkanlarınızla bunları organize etmeniz gerekecek potansiyel işvereninizle. Kısa süren eğitim imkanları da tabii ki daha az maliyet demek. Sizin açınızdan burs aldığınızda maliyetin hani 20.000 poundluk bir eğitimin 10.000'e düşmesi ve sonraki yılda bir eğitim ücreti ve yaşam masrafı vermiyor olmanız büyük bir avantaj aslında baktığınızda. Dediğimiz gibi Birleşik Krallık'ta mezuniyet sonrası çalışma hakkınız bulunuyor. 2021'de girdi bu devreye. Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitiminiz bittikten sonra online olarak başvurunuzu yapıyorsunuz ve size vizitiniz uzatılmış bir şekilde oturma hakkınız geliyor. Türkiye'ye dönmenize gerek bulunmuyor. Popüler programlara bakacak olursak Birleşik Krallık en çok mühendislik, teknoloji, işletme, iktisadi bilimler, sosyal bilimler, hukuk ve bilgisayar olarak bu alanlarda yoğunluk görüyoruz biz. İşletme ve iktisat aslında yıllardır birinci sıradaydı. Son birkaç yıldır mühendisliğin ön planda olduğunu görüyoruz. Bu da benim şahsen hoşuma giden bir konu. Hani Birleşik Krallık sosyal bilimlerden biraz daha teknik bilimlere, mühendislik bilimlerine yöneliyoruz. Birleşik Krallık'ta çeşitli yüksek lisans dereceleri işte bir senede alabiliyorsunuz. MBA keza bir senede. Eğer doktora yapmak isterseniz doktoranın da 3 yıl sürdüğünü söyleyebilirim. Bazı araştırma programları var. Biraz böyle ara programlar. Öğrenciyi PhD'ye de hazırlayan programlar olabiliyor. Ya da araştırmayı iş hayatında profesyonel olarak kullanmak isteyen adaylar olabilir. Bunlar 2 yıl sürebiliyor ama standart dersli masterlar 1 yıldır. Bunun altını tekrar çizmiş olalım. Size uygun programı seçerken en çok hangi konuyla ilgileniyorsunuz? Hangi modüller ve seçenekler sunuluyor? Program işe yerleştirme içeriyor mu? Bundan sonra ne yapmak istiyorsunuz? Hangi notlara ihtiyacınız var gibi sorulara bakmak gerekiyor. Ama tabii ki siz şimdi üniversitelerin birazdan anlatacağız grade burslarını. Üniversite spesifik başvuru yapacağınız için burada birazcık daha sizin filtreleme yönteminiz farklı olacaktır. Ama günün sonunda üniversiteler birçok bu saydığımız üniversitenin bursları tüm programlar için geçerlidir. Belki burada nüans olarak o üniversitedeki işte X üniversitesindeki bir finans ya da iktisat programıyla Y üniversitesindeki finans, iktisat ne arıyorsanız aynı mı? Dersler neler ya da müfredat neler içeriyor, hangi dersler var onlara bakmakta fayda var. Araştırmalarınızda her zaman Study UK web sitesini kullanabilirsiniz. Bizim global web sitemizdir Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitimle ilgili. UCAS'ın postgradla ilgili bir bölümü bulunuyor. UCAS aslında lisans öğrencilerine yönelik bir platformdur. Merkezi başvuru sistemidir. Lisansüstü yani master'da merkezi bir başvuru sistemi yoktur. Ama bilgi açısından UCAS'ı kullanabilirsiniz. Bir de Prospects dediğimiz bir web sitesi var. Burayı da inceleyebilirsiniz. Bunları gerek şu andaki araştırmalarınız için gerek gelecekte eğer PhD, doktora vesaire yapmak istiyorsanız referans olarak kullanabileceğiniz linkler. Sıralamalar önemli olabilir. Biz sıralamalara önerirken adaylara diyoruz ki direkt birinci koşulu bu olmasın. Yani seçiminizin yegane koşulu bu olmasın diyoruz. Çok pardon. Siz buradan devam edersek daha iyi olacak galiba. Demin hangi ekranı gördüğünüzden emin olamadım ama buradan devam edersek daha sağlıklı olacak. Evet, sıralamalarda dediğimiz gibi birinci koşul bu sıralamada işte The Times'ta ya da Guardian'da yüksek sırada olması, sıralamada olması değil ama hani referans olarak bunları kullanmanızı tavsiye ederiz. Bazı üniversiteler sıralamalarda geri olabilir ama belli spesifik alanlarda gerçekten iyi olabilir. Alan bazlı mesela sıralamalara bakacaksanız da Complete University'de alan bazlı sıralamalar bulunuyor. Bir kontrol yapabilirsiniz. Oradan da hareket edebilirsiniz. Ama dediğimiz gibi siz ne istiyorsunuz, hangi kariyeri hedefliyorsunuz vesaire gibi sonuçlardan yola çıkarak bir liste yapmak her zaman daha iyidir. Sıralamalar referans olarak kullanılabilir. Lisansüstü başvurularda dediğimiz gibi merkezi bir sistem yok. Üniversitelere doğrudan başvuru yapılıyor. İstediğiniz sayıda başvuru yapabiliyorsunuz. Genelde son başvuru tarihi bulunmuyor ama çok popüler üniversiteler, mesela bizim farkındasınızdır listemizde, burs listemizde Glasgow, Edinburgh gibi iddialı üniversiteler var. Onların bazı programlar için son başvuru tarihleri bulunabilir. Bunları tek tek bakmak gerekiyor. Vardır ya da yoktur diye bir şey söyleyemem ama popüler üniversiteler ve programlar Ocak, Şubat itibariyle dolmuş bile olabilir. Bunun altını çizelim. Devam edecek olursak başvuru tarihlerinden bahsettik. Başvuru mektubu yazmanız gerekiyor. Niyet mektubu diyoruz biz buna. Şimdi bursla ilgili başvuru mektubu ayrı, programa başvuru mektubu ayrı. Bursun şartı olarak bütün üniversitelerin beklediği sizden kendi bünyelerindeki yani kendi bünyesindeki programlara başvurup kabul alıp sonra gelip bursa başvurmanızı istiyorlar. Dolayısıyla şimdi biz şu anda programa başvurunuza odaklanalım. Başvurunuzu yaparken birkaç tane kriter var. Örneğin işte aldığınız dersler transkriptiniz, 2 referans, bazıları bir referansla kabul edebiliyor. Niyet mektubu, İngilizce seviyenizi gösteren belge, bir de CV, gönüllü işlerinizi ya da bir iş tecrübeniz varsa bunları gösteren bir CV faydalı olacaktır. Başvuru mektubunu hazırlarken de becerileriniz, hobileriniz, ilgi alanlarınız, programınızla alakalı iş veya gönüllü çalışmalarınız varsa bunlardan bahsetmeniz isteniyor. Neden Birleşik Krallık'ta okumak istiyorsunuz gibi bir soruya da yanıt vermek iyi olacaktır. Üniversite spesifik yani her üniversiteye ayrı ayrı başvurduğunuz için seçtiğiniz programı ve üniversiteyi iyi inceleyerek mektupta belirtmenizde fayda var. Çok genel yazmanız kabul açısından çok uygun görülmeyecektir. Üniversiteyi iyi araştırdığınızı, ne istediğinizi iyi bildiğinizi göstermeniz gerekiyor. Niyet mektubu ile ilgili internette bir sürü örnek bulunuyor. Tavsiyemiz ilham alın ancak copy paste yapmayın. Sistem yakalayabiliyor. Yani üniversitelerin bu tarz durumlar için geliştirdikleri bir sistem var. Tarama yaptıklarında karşılarına çıkabiliyor. ChatGPT kullanımını çok görüyoruz. Bunu çok bariz bir şekilde yapmamanızı tavsiye ederiz. ChatGPT'nin de bir mantığı vardır. Belki cümle yapılarını falan alabilirsiniz ama tamamını ona yazdırmak ve sunmak çok doğru olmayabilir. Bunu da not olarak düşmüş olayım. ChatGPT çok yeni bir yani program. İlerleyen zamanlarda yansımaları bize nasıl olacak, yaptırımlar neler olacak biz de bilmiyoruz, göreceğiz. İngilizce becerilerinizi gösteren bir belgeye ihtiyacınız olacak demiştik. Bu TOEFL olabilir, IELTS olabilir, kim üniversite Pearson vesaire gibi sınavları da sayabiliyor. Duolingo bir ara vardı, yoktu, tekrar gündeme geldi. Size hangi sınav uyuyorsa bunlardan birini alabilirsiniz. IELTS almayı düşünürseniz de British Council sınavın uygulayıcılarından, program ortaklarından biri. 4 bölümden oluşuyor. Hemen hemen her hafta, her gün bu sınavı alabiliyorsunuz. Klasik sistem var. Bilgisayarlı ortamda alabileceğiniz bir sınav da var. Bir tek burada şu notu düşmek isterim. UKVI IELTS diye bir sınav vardır. Üniversiteler özellikle bunu isteyebilir. UKVI IELTS olması ne demek? Sınavın kameralı ortamda, kamerayla sizi görebilecekleri bir ortamda çekilmesi demektir. İçerik olarak hiçbir farkı yok. Sadece dediğimiz gibi güvenlik açısından bazı üniversiteler bunu tercih edebiliyor. Kameralı ortamda bu sınavı almanızı isteyebiliyorlar. Vize aşamasına geldiğinizde programa başvururken sunduğunuz belgeler neyse aynı belgeleri vize içinde sunuyorsunuz. Devam edecek olursak üniversite fiyatları aşağı yukarı 10 binler vesaire hani olan çok nadir üniversite var ama ortalama olarak 18 bin poundlardan başlar. Artık üniversitenin bulunduğu şehire göre, kalitesine göre ya da sıralamasına göre diyelim bu 30 bin, 35 bin poundları bulabilir. Ortalama Londra'daki üniversiteler 22 bin, 25 bin pound arasında değişebiliyor. Maliyet açısından da aylık 800 ila 1300 pound arasında bir bütçeye ihtiyacınız olacak. Ekranda bazı böyle harcama giderleriyle ilgili fikir vermesi açısından bazı rakamlar paylaştık. Eğer bu tabii ki yani aşağı yukarı fiyatlar aylık 800 ila 1300 pound arasında dedik. Öğrencinin yaşam stiline göre hani 800 pound'da da kalabilir, 1300 yetmez, 1500 poundlara kadar da çıkabilir. Birleşik Krallık özellikle Londra'da yıllar içinde özellikle Covid sonrasında oldukça hani orada da ufak enflasyon yani bizdekiyle karşılaştırabilecek durumda değil ama %1, %2'lik, %3'lük bir fiyatlarda değişim söz konusu. Birazcık daha belki hani bu rakamları revize etmek ilerleyen zamanlarda gerekebilir. Bir de burada şu notu düşmek istiyorum. Vize açısından aklınızda olsun. 28 gün kuralı diye bir kural vardır. Yaşam maliyetleri belli bir hesaplamaya göre hesaplanır. Aylık işte Londra içi, Londra dışı diye 2 tane rakam bulunur. Londra içi 1300 pound civarındadır aylık. Londra dışı ise 1100 pound civarında olması lazım. Gov.uk'de bununla ilgili birazcık daha detaylı bilgiler var. Siz ne kadar kalırsanız kalın bir master programı 9 ay olarak düşünülür. Aylık gider çarpı 9 ay olarak bu hesaplama yapılır ve hesabınıza 28 gün öncesinden konularak sizin isminize ya da ailenizin adına açılmış bir hesapta bekletilerek bu bankadan bir mektup alınır. Mektup işte evet yani bu kişiye ait şu kadar zamandır bu hesapta bu kadar para vardır diye. Üniversiteniz zaten vize aşamanıza geldiğinizde sizi yönlendirecektir. Eğitim sırasında çalışabilirsiniz. Grade bursiyeri olmanız buna engel değil diyebiliyorum. 20 saate kadar çalışma hakkınız var. Ortalama olarak da 10 pound civarında bir ücret kazanıyorsunuz. Saatlik ücreti diyebilirim. Full olarak da resmi tatillerde çalışabiliyorsunuz. Bunu da not düşmüş olalım. Şimdi grade burslarına bakacak olursak bu burslar 2024-25 yani önümüzdeki Eylül ayı itibariyle başlayacak programlar için geçerlidir. Her biri 10.000 pound değerinde. 2 tane üniversite var. İstisnai birazdan onları açıklayacağım. Onların katkı yani bursları birazcık daha farklı, daha yüksek. Master programları için geçerli. Genelde ekranda göreceksiniz birazdan. Toastmaster dediğimiz master programları için geçerli. 14 tane bursumuz bulunuyor. Başvurular Ocak itibariyle başladı. Genel olarak Mayıs itibariyle Hepsinin farklı farklı son başvuru tarihi var ama Mayıs itibariyle başvurular son buluyor. Bunların da listesini birazdan paylaşıyorum. Dediğimiz gibi bursa başvurabilmek için önce üniversitedeki programdan kabul almanız gerekiyor. Detaylı bilgiler için her zaman British Council web sitemize bakabilirsiniz. Üniversitelere bakacak olursak da üniversitelerin listesini ekranda görebilirsiniz. Dediğimiz gibi her bir üniversitenin 10.000 pound değerinde bir burs var. İstisnai olarak Brunel Üniversitesi 10.000 pound artı 5.000 de living cost için bir burs veriyor. Yani 15.000 pound değerinde bir katkı sağlıyor. Bir de Loughborough University 10.000 değil 18.000 pound değerinde bir burs veriliyor. Üniversitenin son başvuru tarihlerini görebilirsiniz ekranda. 31 Mayıs olan var, 10 Mayıs olan var. Tek tek bunları hani hangi üniversiteyle ilgileniyorsanız ona göre planlamanızı yapmanızda fayda var. Size şu bilgiyi verebilirim. Şimdi başvurunuzu yaptınız bölüme, üniversitenin onu değerlendirip geri dönmesi yaklaşık 2 hafta ila 1 ay arasında değişebiliyor. 31 Mayıs'taki bir başvuruya yetişebilmek için sizin 30 Nisan itibariyle hatta yani Nisan ortası itibariyle 1 ay içinde falan böyle 45 gün içinde bursa başvurmanız gerekiyor. Süreyi böyle kendinize hani böyle aracı nasıl diyeyim yönlendirirseniz iyi olur. 30 Nisan'daki bir yani burs son başvuru tarihi 30 Nisan gördüğümüz programlar içinde bence hani 30 Mart birazcık geç olabilir. Bir 15-20 gün içerisinde en geç başvurmanızda fayda var. Başvuru koşullarına bakacak olursak çok fazla komplike değil. Bir kere Türkiye vatandaşı olduğunuzu kanıtlamanız gerekiyor. Lisans derecesine sahip olmanız gerekiyor. Ya da mezun aşamasına geleceksiniz. Yani Haziran itibariyle hala başvurunuzu yapabilirsiniz. Ona göre şartlı kabul alabilirsiniz programa. Bursa şartlı ya da şartsız başvuru olabiliyor. Bu da üniversiteye değişiyor. Yani bazıları şartlı şartsız olur diyor. Bazıları da şartsız kabul almanız gerekiyor diyor. Sorularınız mesela hani bu anlamda da sorularınızı üniversiteye yönlendirmekte fayda var. Başvurduğunuz üniversitenin akademik ve İngilizce dil gereksinimini yerine getirdiğinizden emin olmanız gerekiyor. Eğer programa başvuru sırasında IELTS'iniz yoksa problem değil ya da işte herhangi bir resmi sınavınız yoksa problem değil. Üniversitede gene şartlı kabul alır. Şu tarihe kadar sınavının sonucunu bize ilet diyebilir. Aranan özelliklere bakacak olursak genel olarak söylemek gerekirse motivasyon sahibi olduğunuzu göstermeniz gerekiyor. Sizler bizim burs aldığınız takdirde bir elçimiz olacaksınız. Hem bizim yani British Council'ın grade burslarının hem de okuduğunuz üniversitenin bir elçisi olacaksınız. Bunu yapabileceğinizi göstermeniz, hatta başvuru mektubunuzda da buna değinmenizde fayda var. Mesela biz bu grade bursları kampanyamız sırasında eski bursiyerlerimizle hep irtibattayız. Onları etkinliklerimize davet ediyoruz. Ama onun dışında da yaptığımız bu çeşitli tanıtım kampanyalarında kendilerinden destek istiyoruz. Bizimle bu kampanyada çalışıyorlar. Eğitiminize başladığınızda mesela Birleşik Krallık'ta bir toplantı olacak, bir networking etkinliği, tanıştırma etkinliği olacak. Orada bu etkinliğe katılmanızı isteyeceğiz. Bu tip böyle desteklerde sizleri haber veriyor olacağız. Dolayısıyla başvuru mektubunuzda neden iyi bir grade bursiyeri adayısınız sizce? Onu anlatmanızda yani nasıl bir elçi olacaksınız bize? Bunu anlatmanız bence orada anahtar bir kelime olacaktır. Tekrar şöyle bir hatırlatacak olursak da her üniversitenin verdiği burs için kendi burs sayfasına bakmanızı tavsiye ediyoruz. Ortak bir başvuru sistemi yok. Üniversitelere tek tek başvurmanız gerekiyor. Bursu almaya hak kazanan adaylarla üniversiteler irtibata geçiyor. British Council'ın değerlendirme aşamasında bu burs özelinde bir desteği bulunmuyor. Biz tanıtım kısmından sorumluyuz. Üniversitelerde işte başvuruları alma, değerlendirme, öğrenciyle iletişim kurma, onları vize sürecine hazırlama, gibi bütün aşamalarından sorumlu. Biz sadece size bursa aldığınız takdirde Haziran gibi pre-departure dediğimiz seyahat öncesi yapılması gerekenleri anlattığımız bir sunuma davet ediyoruz. Onun dışında bir desteğimiz bulunmuyor. Tabii ki ben Semra Yalçın Doğan ve hani benden e-maili aldınız bu etkinlikle ilgili. Süreç içinde sorularınız olursa benimle irtibata geçebilirsiniz. Ben hani arada üniversiteyle sizin aranızda o anlamda bilgi akışını gerektiğinde sağlayabilirim. Grade burslarından bahsediyorken bu fırsatı kaçırmamanızı kaçırmamanızı gerektiğini düşündüğüm için Women in STEM dediğimiz bilimde kadın burslarımız bulunuyor. Şu anda biz dinleyen kadın adaylarımız varsa bu burs onlar için. Bu da 2024-25 yıl akademik döneminde geçerli olmak üzere sunulan bir burs programıdır. Full burstur. Eğitim ve yaşam her şey dahil full burstur. University of Bradford'dan 5 adet bursumuz var. Ayrıca Cranfield, St Andrews ve Glasgow. Bunlar da 5'er burs veriyor. Yani toplam 15 burs var ama bölgeye açık olduğu için bölgedeki diğer öğrencilerle bir rekabet durumu söz konusu. Bu bursları da değerlendirmenizi tavsiye ederim. British Council'ın sayfasında bu bursla ilgili bilgiler bulabilirsiniz. Bunda da farklı başvuru tarihleri bulunuyor ve her üniversiteye ayrı ayrı gene başvuru yapıyorsunuz. Diğer burs imkanları da gene ben değinmek istedim. Çiftlik bursları örneğin bu seneyi kaçırdığınız 2024-25 akademik yılını kaçırdınız. 25-26 için çiftlik bursları Ağustos itibariyle açılıyor ve Kasım itibariyle son buluyor. Çiftlik çok önce ilana çıkıyor. Süreci çok da erken tamamlıyor. Aklınızda bulunsun. Şu anda mesela adaylarla görüşme safhasındalar onlar. Haziran gibi de kimlerin gidip gitmeyeceği ya da kimlerin bursu aldığı belli olacak. Milli Eğitim Bakanlığı bursu da onların takvimi birazcık daha farklı. Yanılmıyorsam Aralık'la Ocak-Şubat arasında bir ilana çıktılar. Öğrencilerin başvurusuna açıktı. Gene Milli Eğitim'in sayfasından, burslar sayfasından takip edebilirsiniz. Tüm bunların dışında Birleşik Krallık Üniversitelerinin sunmuş olduğu çeşitli burslar bulunuyor. Genelde bunlar kısmi burslar oluyor. %10 ila %50 arasında değişebiliyor. Kolay kolay çok üniversiteler tam burs vermezler. Kısmi burslar şeklinde olabiliyor. Bazen konuya göre diyebiliyorlar. Bazen bölgeye göre diyebiliyorlar. Her üniversitenin stratejisi birbirinden farklı oluyor. Study UK web sitemizde bir arama portalı bulunuyor. Burs arama portalı. Buradan bakabilirsiniz diğer burslara da, olabilecek burslara. Bunun dışında bizim sosyal medyadan takip ettiğiniz takdirde ilerleyen zamanlarda başka burs imkanları, örneğin Women sistemle ilgili eminim ilerleyen zamanlarda Mart ayında olabilir bir webinar yapılacaktır. Bu sosyal medyadan dediğimiz gibi etkinliğin bilgilerine ulaşabilirsiniz ilan edildiğinde. Benim burslarla ilgili anlatabileceklerim bu kadar. Sizin eğer sormak istediğiniz sorular varsa ben şimdi Q&A'ye bakıyorum. Buradan sorularınızı alacağım. Lütfen yayında da kalın ve üniversitelerin sunumlarını seyredin. Aslında şu anda Megan burada. Bir saniye. Hi Megan.
Hi Summer. Hi everyone.
Hi. I'll just now respond to a couple of questions and then I'll give you the floor. If you don't mind, I'll carry on in Turkish. Okay. Merhaba, programlar testsiz mi oluyor? Testsiz oluyor ama bir bitirme ödeviniz oluyor. Yani büyük bir tez değil ama bir dediğimiz gibi makale article çalışmanız olacaktır, bitirme tezi gibi. Kelime sayısı birazcık daha düşük oluyor. Grade burslu doktora programlarını kapsıyor mu? Hayır, kapsamıyor. Sadece bir yıllık master programlarını kapsıyor. Master programının ücreti ne kadar ve ne kadar burs olarak karşılanacak? Şöyle, Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitim yaklaşık olarak 18.000 poundla 25.000-27.000 poundlar üniversitesine göre değişiyor. Mesela listemizde Edinburgh, Glasgow var. Onlar böyle 28.000 poundları herhalde buluyordur diye düşünüyorum. İddialı üniversitenin fiyatları yüksek oluyor. Bizim verdiğimiz burs 10.000 pound değerinde. Loughborough Universitesi 18.000 pound, ona bakabilirsiniz. Bir de Brunel Üniversitesi artı 5.000 yaşam masrafını karşılamak üzere bir burs daha veriyor. Onu da incelemenizi tavsiye ederim. Devam edelim. Yanlış soruları galiba gönderdim. Bakalım. Master programından bahsettik. Programlar bir yıl olarak gözüküyor ve 20.000 sterlin civarı. Genel olarak bu bir yıl için sanırım. Verilecek olan bu 10.000 sterlin burs tüm verilecek burs mu oluyor? Evet. Dediğimiz gibi. İngilizce dil becerisinin belgesini kabul aldıktan sonra temin etme opsiyonumuz var mı? Evet demiştim. Şartlı kabul alabilirsiniz. Ama burs açısından belki bunu üniversiteye her zaman lütfen sorun. Bursa başvuracağınızı. Burs açısından süreyi öne çekmek gerekebilir. Onlar size yardımcı olacaktır. Her bir üniversitenin birazcık farklı bir tarzı var. Bir öğrencimiz, ben yabancıyım ve Türkiye'de lisans okudum, bursa katılabilir miyim? Maalesef sadece Türkiye vatandaşlarına veriliyor bu burs. Bu sunum bilgilerini sizinle paylaşabilir miyim? Tabii ki bütün kayıt olanlarla isterseniz sunumu da eklerim. Yayının linki paylaşılacaktır. Burslar online learning programları içinde geçerli mi acaba? Hayır, yerinde eğitim almanız gerekiyor. MBA programı içinde grade bursları geçerli mi? MBA de aslında taught masters olarak sayıldığı için çoğu için evet geçerli ama üniversiteye gene sormakta fayda var. Grade bursları research programları için de geçerli mi? Research programları için research'ta en az 2 yıllık programlar oluyor. Hayır, geçerli değil. Sadece 1 yıllık dediğimiz gibi dersli master programları için geçerli. Burs alabilmek için beklenen GPA gibi kısıtlamalar var mı? Şöyle, bunu isterseniz üniversitelerin sunumlarında da sorabilirsiniz ama genel olarak programa başvururken orada belirtilen o işte GPA, minimum ortalamayı karşılamanız yeterli. Ama sizin gibi başka adaylar da bursa başvuracağı için bir adım önde hani olabilmek adına ya da GPA'yı yüksek olan kişi daha şanslı olabilir. Bunun garantisini veremem. Tabii ki yazmış olduğunuz motivasyon mektubu da önemli bir kalem. Ama dediğimiz gibi programa kabul sırasında belirtilen puanı tutturuyorsanız burs için ekstra bir ortalama aranmıyor. GPA'nın önemi sorulmuş. 3 ortalama 3 iyi bir puan mı denilmiş? 4 üzerinden 3 evet iyi bir puan ama hani daha yukarısı daha makbul, daha çok yani şansınız daha iyi olacaktır. Edinburgh gibi ücreti daha yüksek olan üniversite için birden fazla burs programına başvurmanız mümkün mü yoksa takibi yapılabilen bir süreç midir? Güzel bir soru. Bildiğim kadarıyla burslar birleştirilemeyebilir. Bunu lütfen üniversiteye sorun. Genel olarak üniversiteler kendi bünyesindeki ya da hani başka bir bursa şöyle genelde dışarıdan bir burs ayarlıyorsanız problem yok ama üniversite içinde başka bir bursa bildiğim kadarıyla başvuramıyorsunuz. Bunu da bence üniversiteye sorun. Farklı yaklaşımları olabilir. STEM bursunda eğitim için verilen miktar yine 10.000 pound mu yoksa tüm ücreti kapsıyor mu? Tüm ücreti kapsıyor arkadaşlar. Bunun altını çiziyorum. Full burstur. Yaşam ve maliyet, yaşam ve eğitim ücreti olmak üzere tüm burstur. Grade bursları geri ödemesiz mi ve yurt olanağı var mı? Evet, yani geri ödemesi yok. Öyle bir şartımız yok. Yurt olanağı derken yaşam masrafları size ait olacağı için burs, yani bu da yaşam maliyetinin içinde sizin karşılamanız gerekiyor. Maalesef burs karşılamıyor. Gene benzer bir soru gelmiş. Master of Research için geçerli midir diye. Yani 2 yıllık programsa hayır geçerli değil. Ki Master of Research'lar öyle diyebiliyorum. 2025-26 içinde bu burslar olacak mıdır? Evet, yaklaşık 10 yıldır bu bursları veriyoruz. Ama her sene aklınızda olsun arkadaşlar, üniversitelerin listesi değişiyor. Çünkü biz üniversitelere bir çağrı yapıyoruz. Onlar ilgilendiklerini, eğer ilgileniyorlarsa başvuruyorlar. Başka ülkeler için de bu bursu verebiliyorlar. Global ekibimiz değerlendikten sonra işte şu üniversiteler şu ülke için burs verebilir diyor. Dolayısıyla hani her sene aynı üniversitelerin listesi olacak diye bir şey yok. Her sene değişiyor. Burs başvurusunda yaş limiti var mı? Yok. Sorry Megan, a lot of questions. I'm trying to speed up and answer all the questions.
It's okay. It's really good. You do what you need to do.
Good questions though. So we
Yeah.
eliminate, you know, the repeating ones. Burs başvuruları yaş limiti var mı? Hayır yok demiştik. Doktora programları için webinar düşünüyor musunuz? Maalesef doktora programları 3 yıllık programlar ve böyle bir bütçe ayrılması. Ben uzun zamandır buradayım. Bir kere grade kapsamında öyle ilk yıl başladığımızda olmuştu. Onun dışında maalesef bulunmuyor. Bazen bizim çağrılarımız oluyor fund şeklinde. TÜBİTAK'la falan ortak çalışıyoruz. Onun kapsamında araştırmacı olarak böyle belki hani o programın parçası olarak gidebiliyorsunuz. Bunun için de bizim British Council web sitemizden takipte bulunmanızı tavsiye ederiz. Çocuk sahibi olan öğrenciler için imkanlar var mı? Çocukla master yahut doktora programına katılmak mümkün mü? Şöyle, şimdi Birleşik Krallık dependent vizesini kaldırdı. Doktorada hala götürebiliyorsunuz çocuk. Master'da götüremiyorsunuz diye biliyorum. Eğer devlet bursiyeriyseniz, yani Türkiye hükümetinden burs alıyorsanız eş, çocuk götürebiliyorsunuz. Grade burslarında yani hani özellikle şudur diyemeyeceğim ama çocuğunuzu yani doktora yaparsanız dediğimiz gibi çocuk ya da eş götürebiliyorsunuz. Grade bursları geri ödemesiz mi ve bu bursun içinde yurt olanağı var mıdır? Bunu yanıtladık. Bu GPA 2.65 olması koşulları için yetersiz mi olur? Her üniversiteye göre değişiyor mu? Dediğim gibi programa başvuruya bakın. Yani başvuru kriterine bakın. 2.65 ile program sizi alıyorsa Bursa'da başvurabilirsiniz. Onunla ilgili bir engel yok. Türkiye'de eğitim gören uluslararası öğrenciler başvurabiliyor mu? Hayır, başvuramıyor. Atladığım soru var mı diye bakıyorum ve bir an önce atladığım bir soru yok. Publish ettiklerimden bir bakalım. Tamam. Genel olarak soruları yanıtladım. Gene hani sorularınız olursa yazın. Ben arada size online olarak yazabilirim. Okay Megan, we are with you now. Let me stop sharing my screen and I'll put you on the screen.
Thank you very much. I seem to have an, oh yes, I do have an option to share my screen now. You stopped sharing yours.
Yes.
How long do I have, Semra?
15 minutes.
Okay, lovely. Let's get cracking then. So thanks everyone. Thank you to Semra and the British Council for hosting us today. My name's Megan Carlisle. I'm the International Manager for Turkey here at the University of Leeds. And today I'm going to introduce the University of Leeds a little bit. We're very pleased to have a great scholarship this year for one student from Turkey coming to study a master's programme with us. So I'm very excited to share that with you and also tell you a little bit more about other scholarship opportunities at our university. So hopefully you can all see my screen. To introduce Leeds, firstly, at the top of this slide, we have 3 key reasons why I think Leeds is a fantastic option for your postgraduate studies. Firstly, our academic reputation. Leeds is a top 75 university in the world, according to the QS rankings, and a member of the prestigious Russell Group universities in the UK. We have a very strong academic reputation. We're very proud of the programmes that we deliver here. Secondly, and also importantly, Leeds provides skills with the graduates with the skills that they need to succeed in their careers after they leave us. So we're currently the 6th most targeted UK university by graduate recruiters. So big companies really want to work with our students once they leave us. And then thirdly, and this is also really important, Leeds has been named one of the best places to live in the UK in the North and North East, and that's according to one of our national newspapers. Leeds is my hometown, so I am a little bit biased here, but it's a fantastic place to be a student. You'll benefit from a single site campus, which is just 10 minutes walk from the centre of our city, a very international student environment with over 14,000 international students currently, including around 50 students from Turkey, and guaranteed accommodation during your masters. So if you're looking for that combination of academic excellence, skills and fantastic career opportunities, and a great campus and city environment, I think Leeds should be one of your choices. So to introduce the city, Leeds is located in the north of England and very central within the UK. So it's a very good base to explore the rest of the country. It's a smaller city, a population of around 800,000, but it is still an important city in the UK. It's our third largest city and is a real hub for business, legal and financial services. Particularly, Leeds has the biggest finance sector outside of London. We have a big media sector in the city and lots of graduate opportunities across a range of sectors. It's a very student-friendly city dominated by 4 universities, including the University of Leeds, and it has everything that you would expect from a big city: sports, music, theatre, nightlife, shopping, but without some of the downsides. It's much more compact, it's very easy to get around, and it's much more affordable to live than somewhere like London. We have an estimated budget on the slide there. Your budget will vary depending on your lifestyle and accommodation choices, but in general, Leeds is a much more affordable city than some other options in the UK. To introduce our university, Leeds, as I mentioned, is a single campus university. This is one of my favourite things about our university, is that everyone is in one place. You can see the campus on this picture. We have lots of green space. You have all of your academic facilities, so lecture theatres, labs. We have 4 libraries on campus, but you also have your social spaces like our Students' Union and our sports facilities like The Edge, which is our student gym, all on one campus. However, what I think you can see really well in this picture is just how close we are to the city centre. So in just 10 minutes, you can walk from our campus into the centre of the city, which is quite unusual for a university of our size. So everything's super convenient for you. And the university really feels like a part of the city life. So Leeds is a very large institution. We're one of the biggest universities in the UK, and therefore we have 7 big faculties offering programmes across a range of areas. So Leeds offers master's programmes in arts, humanities and cultures, biological sciences, business, engineering and physical sciences, environment, medicine and health, and social sciences. Because we're a very well-ranked and well-respected university, Leeds has lots of different subject areas where we're strong, but these are some of the main ones that I've found are most popular with Turkish students specifically. So firstly, engineering and physical sciences. Leeds is a powerhouse of research in this area. We have schools of civil engineering, chemical and process engineering, mechanical engineering and electronic and electrical engineering, and these are all ranked in the top 10 in the UK. The building that you can see on this slide is our Bragg building, which is newly completed. It was built about 2 years ago. It's a huge investment that we made on our campus. We spent about £97 million on this building, and it's all dedicated to engineering and computing facilities. So a real powerhouse of research. That's our biggest faculty. Our second biggest faculty is our business school, offering programmes in economics, management, marketing, international business and accounting and finance, amongst others. Our business school is triple accredited by AACSB, Amber and Equus, which is a real hallmark of quality for business schools, and also ranked 67th in the world according to QS. And then a few other subjects which Leeds has strengths in. We have a very good law school. So we're ranked 11th in the UK currently for law, with a wide range of LLM programmes with different specialisms. One area where Leeds is very big on our research is in climate change and environmental sciences. So we have the Priestley Centre for Climate Change, which is a research institute at the university, looking at climate change from a science perspective, so atmospheric and climate science, but also from a political, social and economic perspective as well. So bringing together lots of important interdisciplinary research around climate change with master's programmes in that area as well. And finally, development studies. So our School of Politics and International Studies offers programmes in global development, international relations, governance, diplomacy, these kind of areas as well. So this isn't an exhaustive list, and there are lots of other subjects where Leeds is strong, but just to give you a flavour of some of our key kind of highlights at the university. So for Turkish students, we require a 4-year bachelor degree to enter onto our master's programmes. For most masters, we need a GPA of 3.0 or 80%. There is an exception for our computer science master's programmes, which are incredibly competitive at Leeds. We require a GPA of 3.5 or above. But for most of the subjects, 3.0 is acceptable. We may require a specific background as well, so always check the website if your undergraduate degree is relevant to the master's, if it's an eligible degree. For English language, we require an IELTS score of 6.5 overall, with a minimum of 6.0 in each component. This is a minimum score. There are some programmes which do ask for a slightly higher IELTS, but again, that will be indicated on course programmes. And that's around a level of B2 English, and as far as I'm aware, fairly standard for lots of UK institutions. So Semra has obviously already gone through the detail of the Great Scholarship Programme at the beginning of the presentation with you. At Leeds, we have a Great Scholarship for one Turkish student beginning a taught master's programme in September 2024. Our scholarship is open to all of our taught master's programmes, so there's no restriction on subject areas, and the deadline to apply for the scholarship here at Leeds is the 31st of May. In order to apply, you need to first apply for the master's programme of your choice. So first make your application for the master's, and then you can apply for the scholarship. So if you haven't already applied for your master's programme, I would urge you to do so as soon as possible. If you scan the QR code on this page, you can go directly to the university's application form for our Great Scholarship for Turkey. Obviously, it's the best practice with funding to apply to as many scholarships as possible. We have an International Excellence Scholarship Scheme here at Leeds, which offers partial scholarships for many of our master's programmes. These tuition fee scholarships are either 25% or 50% of the tuition fee, depending on the subject area. The deadline to apply again is in May, it's the 17th of May, and again you will need to first apply for your master's programme of choice. Again, by scanning this QR code, you can be taken to the website to see what's available for your particular subject area. These scholarships, like the Great Scholarship, are also based on academic merit, so it's always a good idea to check the conditions of any scholarships available, but I would always encourage you to apply, even if you don't think your chances are that good. You never know what you might be selected for. One slightly different faculty is our business school. Our business school has scholarships of 50% for students for all master's programmes. The only difference with these is that you don't need to make a separate application. When you apply for a master's in the business school, they will also consider you for a scholarship. And again, it's looking for students who have excellent professional and academic track record. So that's just a slight difference. But for all the other faculties, there is a separate application required. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of an introduction to Leeds. I think I'm in under my 15 minutes, Semra. We do have current students that you can contact at Leeds via our Link to Leeds website. So we have one Turkish student currently called Aisha. She's from Istanbul and she's currently studying her computer science programme. She recently completed her placement year, working for a year in industry in Leeds, and is now entering the final year of her undergraduate degree. So if you want a Turkish perspective on life in Leeds, she would be a good person to talk to. If not, on the Link to Leeds website, you can see all of our other student ambassadors and perhaps find someone from the subject area that you're interested in. And that's it from me. Thank you very much. I've shared my contact details on this slide if you wish to take a picture. And if you have any questions after today, I'm more than happy to to have a chat with people after today's session. But I think I will leave it there.
Thank you, Megan. I actually have one question for you because I received questions from the audience before. They asked whether the GPA is important for the application of the scholarships. What we say is they need to get admitted by the program as long as they, meet the criteria, entry criteria. It's fine to, apply for the scholarship. But of course, if their GPA is more than expected and stated in their application form, it will be an advantage, right?
Exactly. So I would encourage any Turkish student who has an offer for Leeds to apply for the Great Scholarship, because there's always a chance. But obviously, the higher your GPA, the better your chance of receiving the scholarship.
Excellent. Thank you, Shart. Thank you very much.
No problem. And good luck.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Welcome, Mohammed.
Hi, Samra.
I'll put you on the screen, and if you share your slides, I'll put you together. Yep, I see your slides. Oops. Yeah, you can start, by the way.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Absolutely delighted to be part of this presentation and sharing a little bit about Brunel University. My name is Mohammed Alam, and I look after external funding and scholarships at Brunel University, London. This is our sort of current campaign, the brilliant campaign, Be Bold, Be Brave, Be You. So we like to hopefully inspire you to come and join us and study with us at Brunel University, London. Okay, just a bit about our history. So we were formed in 1966. We are a world-class university with an outstanding reputation for industry. And our mission is to bring benefit to society through excellence in education, research, and knowledge transfer. And our academics are leaders in their field and combine rigorous academic study with opportunities to apply knowledge to real-world issues. A snapshot of our current status in terms of ranking, in terms of our campus. So we are ranked joint first in the UK for International Outlook, and that is fourth globally. So we have a significant proportion of our student population coming from outside of the UK. In fact, it's currently at 46%, if you can see here. Over 17,000, we have over 17,000 students within Brunel. And we are located about 45 minutes away from central London, 20 minutes away from Heathrow Airport. We have affordable accommodation. Nearly 5,000 students live within our campus. We have over 200 undergraduate and postgraduate courses. And in terms of our sports, we are top 100 university for sports. And when you join us, you can benefit from a range of clubs and societies. We have over 150 such clubs and societies available for you. Like I said, we are located in West London. And we are a one campus university like Leeds. I think 15 minutes is the rule, so we are 15 minutes away from Heathrow Airport. 15 minutes is our nearest town, which is Uxbridge, and 15 times 3, 45 minutes to central London via the underground metropolitan line. This is a aerial photo of our campus. like Leeds, we are a one-campus university. Everything you need is available within 10 minutes walking distance. So we have our accommodation jotted around the campus here and at the end. And like I said, everything is available within 10 minutes walking distance. What is not shown on this image is our liquid metal engineering center just here, and our sports park. We have a large sports park just on the left of the campus. Our programs are situated within 3 colleges. These are the College of Business, Arts and Social Sciences, College of Engineering, Design and Physical Sciences, and College of Health, Medicine and Life Sciences. More recently, we have established our medical school. So that is a more recent development within the College of Health, Medicine and Life Sciences. One of our strengths is our connection to industry and the placement options available to students. These are the range of subjects or courses that where students are able to take advantage of placement options. And every student has access to a careers consultant or a placement advisor from our professional development center. This is one of our key strengths, our connection to industry and the support that we provide in terms of your future careers. So typically, students who complete a placement achieve a higher degree and better career outcome. All of our students have access to first-class coaching, mentoring, and networking. We have connections to over 1,500 companies across all sectors. Some of them listed here. Our professional mentoring program helps students to improve their employability and gain confidence. And the support that we offer is an award-winning support service. So we are 5th best career service in the country. So once you have graduated from Brunel, what can you expect? So Brunel graduate salaries are 18% higher than the sector average, and Brunel has been ranked 14th best UK university for producing the most employable graduates. So applying for a master's degree, typically we have 2 intakes. We have an intake in September and an intake in January. Not all programs are open for the intake in January. We have application deadlines, but we typically encourage students to apply early. And applications must be made directly through Brunel from the respective program pages. The international tuition fees varies. It's between 18,000 to 24,000, depending on the program. That does not include medicine. Medicine is slightly different. In terms of requirements, we expect students to have achieved a 2.2 or 2.1 at undergraduate level, or a 6.5 or a 7.0 at IELTS, and relevant work experience. A personal statement is required, and we expect some references for some of our programs. And several of our programs require you to undergo an interview. So coming on to the great scholarships, of course, we are absolutely delighted to be a partner in this program. We are offering £10,000 towards tuition fees, and we are offering a further £5,000 towards living costs. Our scholarships are eligible for Turkey in particular. The eligible courses are those listed: the MSc Accounting and Business Intelligence, MSc Artificial Intelligence Strategy. Well, when you do apply, please make sure you look at the eligibility criteria and you select the correct courses. We expect you to complete an online application for the scholarship. So this is in addition to making an application for your course. We expect you to complete an application. This is the online application, and the deadline is 30th April. Shortlisted candidates will be selected for interview, and we expect the decisions to be made by the 30th of June, subject to, this may be subject to change, but currently we're expecting decisions to be made by the 30th of June. In terms of some of the tips when you're making your application, like we said, start early. There's no substitute to starting early. Look through the course outlined properly. So look at the eligibility criteria and look through the course criteria as well. You must be eligible for the respective course, and you must have applied for the course before you make an application for the Great Scholarship. Read through the scholarship application. The application typically has general questions about yourself, so some personal details about yourself, but there are some open questions, and these deal with things like why you have chosen Brunel and the course. So we want applicants to have researched the course and Brunel properly and ensure that it fits well with your personal and professional goals. And we want you to be clear about how studying at Brunel will help your future careers. We want you to share with us how amazing you are as an individual, some of the voluntary experiences that you may have, some of the challenges you have faced and overcome, and why you deserve a scholarship. And we want you to share with us how you will inspire others, how you will act as an ambassador for the Great Scholarship, as well as Brunel and UK as a study destination. I think I've finished early as well. So for further information, you can go to our website, scholarship website, and all this information should be available there. And if you have any questions, you can contact us on scholarships@brunel.ac.uk.
Mohammed, thank you very much. Excellent. I don't see any questions. We had one for Leeds, but I missed that. Sorry about that. And if you have any questions for Mohammed, please do ask. Otherwise, we'll let him go. No question? There are some general questions. I'm doing the questions while you present, but no specific question for you, Mohammed. I'll let you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Ruth, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Hi. Just get my presentation. Okay. Hopefully you can see the presentation.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Ruth, and I'm from Cardiff University. So we'll be talking to you a little bit about our institution, and obviously I work with them with the Great Scholarship. One moment, why is this? There we go, we just need to start. Sorry, taking a little longer to get up and running. Is that displaying?
Are you trying to send it?
There we go. Just trying to send it full screen.
Excellent.
There we go. Yeah, it was just
Thank you.
trying to respond. Okay, so like I mentioned, from Cardiff University. So for those of you that don't know just a little bit about Cardiff, we are one of the kind of traditional, one of the oldest established universities in the UK, about 130 plus years old, so established in 1883. And the way that our university is split is into 3 colleges. So in terms of the kind of subjects and courses that we offer, these are split across 3 different areas: the arts, humanities and social sciences. So that would include things like business, law, international relations, sociology. Then we have our physical sciences and engineering. Physics, maths, computer science, engineering programs, and then biomedical and life sciences. So that's where our health suite of programs sit: medicine, dentistry, a whole range of other health subjects, along with our biosciences and psychology and some other programs as well. So we're a large university. Within those 3 colleges, we have 24 different academic schools, and they host over 500 different degree programs. So you've got a large range of programs available. And quite a different sort of mix of subject areas as well. We are an institution that is very international, so over 7,500 international students from 140 plus different countries, and our total student body is now, well, 33,500 plus. We're up to about 35,000 as a total student body, so we're a very large kind of institution. And as part of Cardiff as a city, we kind of really kind of take quite a large space in that city environment in terms of what we offer. So just to give you a bit of an idea, this is our main campus area. This is our kind of flagship main building, and our campus is based around this kind of central area. We are a member of the Russell Group, so we are in that sort of leading research group of universities. Our QS World Ranking currently at 154, 11th in the UK in terms of our research impact. We have 2 Nobel Laureate winners on staff, and a number of our schools ranking in the top 5, top 10 in the UK, and then obviously wider world rankings as well. So we have that reputation in the UK as a traditional kind of well-established research institution, but also globally as well. So just a snapshot there of some of our rankings across world and UK, top 10, top 50, top 100. I've mentioned, we have got quite a wide range of course offering and subject areas, so you'll see that evidenced in that kind of snapshot in terms of our rankings. So thinking and looking a little bit more specifically at the requirements and our application. So for our postgraduate programmes, for a kind of 2-1 entry requirement in terms of our Turkish equivalents, we're looking at kind of 70% at undergraduate degree or 2.8 GPA, 2-2 programmes then 60% to 2.5 GPA. There are some nuances to that. Some programmes have specific module requirements, some will have other requirements that will all be listed. So I would urge you to check on the website for the full entry requirement details. Each of our courses has a detailed profile. You can find out more about what you'll be studying, how you are taught, the breakdown of the course in terms of what modules, and also the method and what type of study you'll be doing, and then it will list obviously any specific entry requirements that we have, including our English language. The standard minimum for the university is a 6.5 at IELTS, with minimum 5.5 in all sub-scores, but that can vary. There are some of our programmes that have a higher English language requirement, so it's just worth checking the individual course details. We can't obviously list them all on here. We'd be here for much longer than 15 minutes, so just to give you a kind of rough guidance, but do check the specific course pages for more information. And all of our postgraduate applications are direct applications through our website. On those course pages, as you visit them, you'll see in the top right hand corner an Apply Now button, and it's very straightforward, a very simple online application process. So just wanting to highlight a couple of things at Cardiff that we're really proud of, and things that we feel that we do well and really important to our students. And employability is one of those. So we have a global alumni network across the world. Like I've mentioned, we're a very internationally focused institution, and we see this then in our alumni network, over 165,000 graduates out across the world using their Cardiff degree into their professional career. Our graduate employment rate of over 95%. So within kind of 6 months of graduating, that's students who are either in further study or in employment. And that's something that we work really hard to support students with whilst they are studying with us, not just sort of at the point where you're leaving and you're looking for a job. We really try and nurture that as we go through and as you study, because what's really important is building those employability skills. So we're partnered with over 40 different professional bodies, so different programs, different courses have different professional accreditation attached to them. And we do have a really kind of strong presence and a success rate in terms of the students that are leaving Cardiff and actually setting up their own companies. So, entrepreneurship now is a growing and emerging trend internationally, and we're seeing some really great success stories from our Cardiff graduates going out, and setting up independently their own kind of startup companies. In terms of graduate prospects, apologies, we've always had a really kind of strong experience here, and what we do is really, like I've mentioned, embed that employability skill and that process all throughout your learning experience at Cardiff. So things like integrated placement years, work experience opportunities, job fairs, careers events. We have a designated careers team, support team, who have an internationally focused department as well. So these are just for international students. We can provide a lot of additional services, training, CV writing, interview preparation, just those little things that can really help you to kind of focus your career ideas and opportunities, and really build on those key skills that are going to be valuable, which is why we have such a strong employability record, and we see then students going off to work across the world in a number of high profile and kind of recognisable international organisations. Something else that we offer at Cardiff that we want to make you aware of is guaranteed accommodation for international students. So knowing that you've got a guaranteed place to live during your master's study, 17 different residences, so a range of these, but predominantly they are en suite, so 70% have their own private bathroom, and then a shared sort of social and kitchen facility. We mostly offer self-catering, so where you're making your food or in that sort of communal space, cooking with others, but we do have some catered options as well, and we have a mixture of single sex and mixed gender halls. So we try and offer something to cater for all needs in terms of preferences or requirements. Alongside these living sort of quarters, you also have a large sort of social and sporting offering as well. So Cardiff has a really reputable students' union, one of the best students' unions in the UK, voted consistently this year we're number 2 in the UK. So the social and kind of sporting side is something that goes hand in hand with living and studying at Cardiff. And throughout your kind of time with us, and particularly within your living arrangements, we are really prioritising your safety and your security. So we have members of staff, student mentors and residents life assistants. So they are available, our 24-hour security team, but also the residents life assistants are there if you have sort of any pastoral or any kind of queries that you need to raise with somebody. They're like a sort of mentor support member of staff in place within your accommodation, which can be really helpful just for some of the smaller things that sometimes crop up. So just to give you a bit of an insight, so this is part of our student village. So one large area, just sort of that main building I showed you at the start, that kind of civic building, just about 10-15 minutes up the road, we have our student village, and this is where the accommodation is based. So like I mentioned, the kind of communal living, cooking facilities, and then your private bedroom with just off the side here would be your bathroom. So that's just to give you kind of a snapshot into what one of the accommodations, those are the typical rooms and offerings that we have. So when it comes to funding and fees, again, there's quite a range. So in terms of the tuition fees, I've put a very broad kind of spectrum on here, and all of our tuition fees are listed against specific postgraduate courses. You can see that on our web pages. We do have a number of scholarships available. So we have a Vice-Chancellor's International Scholarship Scheme running, and something that goes hand in hand with that kind of fees and funding side is obviously things like living costs. And Cardiff is voted consistently as one of the most affordable student cities in the UK. This just means in terms of your average rent and your living costs, day-to-day food, transport, those kind of things, Cardiff consistently comes out as one of the cheapest places to live for students. And I think that's a real benefit, in particular when you consider that we are a capital city. There can sometimes be an assumption that we would be in amongst the more expensive, but we're quite the opposite of that. So it's a really good kind of capital city to be able to live in without that kind of big price tag that can be attached. You also, of course, can work part-time during your studies. So your visa allows you to work up to 20 hours per week, and we have a designated service called Cardiff Job Shop, run through the Students' Union, where you can sign up and take on part-time work, whether that's within the university itself or the wider city as well. So lots of jobs within the kind of city environment as well. So on the kind of note of scholarships, more specifically then the Great Scholarship that we're here to look at today, just the bits of information that are important for Cardiff. So our application deadline is 23:59 in the UK time, just to make that clear, on the 31st of May. You must have an application with us before applying for the scholarship, and that will be £10,000 towards your tuition fees for a postgraduate programme. And you will be required to address 4 key points or questions. Okay, so those questions, 200 words, and we are quite strict. Well, we are very strict on the word count, so just make sure of this. But, you know, what are your reasons for wanting to study at Cardiff? So you need to show us that you've done some research and that you understand, you know, what you're applying for and why you've applied to Cardiff. Tell us about significant achievement in your life and the impact it's had. How would you spread the word about Cardiff University? So, you know, how are you going to be a good ambassador for the university? And then just a little bit about your career objectives for the course you've applied to. It doesn't have to be set in stone. We know not everybody's got this, you know, absolutely set on what their plans are, but we just want to hear a little bit about what you're hoping to do after you've finished studying with us. Okay, and like I mentioned, there's a 200-word limit. So, you know, it's not huge amounts of writing or text when you just have to, you know, think carefully about how you're answering those questions. Okay, and then just a little bit, because I think we're coming up a bit close to time, so I'll just run through a little bit of information more broadly about Cardiff and the city. So like I said, we're the capital of Wales, we're very accessible, 2 hours from London by train, and we are very well connected to the rest of the UK as well, so you can kind of do a bit of exploring around the UK and also Europe as well. We've got an airport at Cardiff that's connected to lots of European destinations as well. It's a very historical, very cultural city. So Cardiff is kind of known for things like its castles, museums, its heritage, but it's also one of the greenest cities in the UK. So lots of wonderful park space. Bute Park is the kind of main large park area that's right in the centre of campus. Lots of students use that, especially on the sunnier days, to kind of relax or maybe even to do a little bit of studying outside. And Cardiff itself is highly multicultural, so lots of different different languages spoken across the city, a real kind of diverse mix both within the student population but also the wider city as well. And it is one of the safest regions in the UK, so in terms of kind of day-to-day safety, getting around the city in the evening, not just within the university kind of campus area but wider as well, it's a really safe and supportive environment. And it's a really popular environment for things like sports, music. It kind of really attracts a lot of activity, so large kind of sporting events being held in the stadium. Music concerts are very popular as well, and then also we have quite a lot of filming that goes on, so that's always quite fun. You may see a new film, quite a few of the recent Netflix dramas we've had filming on campus, and there's a very kind of thriving affluent theatre and arts scene as well, so something for everyone, something to kind of get involved in, to really enjoy your time, not just studying with us but living with us in Cardiff too. Just a couple of images then to show you, give you a bit of an idea. Okay, this is the Bay Area, so the kind of developed waterfront. This is about 10 minutes from campus. So the stadium I mentioned, this is one of the kind of large music venues that's hosting, along with the sporting events as well. So rugby being the very popular sporting event that's often hosted, but also football, cricket, a number of others as well. And then some of the more traditional elements, sort of Victorian shopping arcades, along with kind of a modern shopping mall that's in the centre of Cardiff, and then castles, which we are very famous for, not just in Cardiff but across Wales, and some of the kind of beaches along from Cardiff and all along the coastline of Wales, which are all within really easy access from the university campus area. This is Tenby, so this is a really kind of popular, well-known tourist destination, about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Cardiff. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there because I'm just about a minute or so over my time. But if you do need any more information or you'd like to find out more about Cardiff, please do visit our web pages, and you can contact us on international@cardiff.ac.uk with any questions that you have.
Thank you, Ruth. Sorry, I was coughing. One question actually, are there any application for Cardiff University? Do you require an application fee for the postgraduate programs?
No, we don't have an application fee.
Okay, well, thank you. Then
thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
I invite
Bye,
Laura to the stage from Edinburgh Napier University. Laura, are you there? Laura, are you there? Laura? I see that she's there, but maybe she is having a technical problem. Laura? Laura, can you hear me? Let me see if I need to do something here. I think she must be away from her desk. Let me see if someone... Okay, well, we have Jake from Goldsmiths. Jake, are you there? Yes. Okay, Jake, you probably hear me. Laura actually from Edinburgh Napier is here, but somehow she's not there. Maybe I can swap your place with her because you are here. So I'll put you on the screen. We'll now listen to the Goldsmiths University's presentation.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. And if you share your slides.
Absolutely. Just 1 second. Sorry. Hi, Sarah. It's lovely to see you.
Always nice to see you too. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Let me just
put it on the screen right now.
Okay, that should be full screen.
Over to you. It's coming. Yeah. Over to you.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you very much for having me, and it's lovely to be here as always. So my name is Jake, and I'm an international recruitment officer at Goldsmiths. So my job is to help students from Turkey to come and study at Goldsmiths University of London here in London. So let's get started. So some quick facts for you about Goldsmiths. We were founded in 1891, and we've been part of the University of London since 1904. We're a single site campus in southeast London. We're literally 10 minutes from the city centre, but I'll show you that in a few seconds. We have about 10,000 students that come from over 140 different countries, so have a real international perspective on our campus. You're not just learning from our academics and our professors, you're learning from each other, from everyone around the world as well. We're considered to be one of the UK's top creative and political universities. And a good example of this is we committed to becoming a carbon neutral organisation by 2025, and we're on track to meet that target. Our university, in general, we have a real focus on creative arts, entrepreneurial business, computing, psychology, social sciences, and humanities. However, I'll show you our departments in a few minutes as well. And we're really good at what we do. We've taught some incredible people who've gone on to have amazing careers, but again, we'll go through those a bit closer to the end. We're in London, as I said earlier, and here's some interesting facts about London, which maybe some of you experienced, maybe some of you thought about experiencing, but London's quite a big place. It's 620 square miles, 9 million people live in our city. Obviously, we're not the most populous cities in the world. Obviously, Istanbul has way more people than us, but we have some really amazing things to offer as an experience when you come here. We have, I'm going to jump one fact, there are 240 nationalities in London, and they speak 320 different languages. So again, you're not just learning from people on our campus, but as you go around and explore the cities, there are so many different cultures and communities to experience just living in this city. Over 500,000 people are students at the universities in London, and we have 22 million people visit this city each year. And that's actually more than New York, San Francisco, and Sydney combined. We have over 32,000 live concerts that happen in the city each year, and that includes 250 different music festivals. They cater for everything from pop music to dance music, hip hop, rock music. We have specialist Indian music festivals, Italian music festivals. There's even a Turkish music festival. Basically, whatever sort of music you're into, you can find it here in this city. We have over 6,000 restaurants serving food from all around the world, 500 cinema screens. We have 5 international airports that are all within maybe half an hour to an hour from the city, so really easy to get by. And we have over 3,000 parks. So these are green spaces around the city that you can use to chill out in, like have picnics in the summer, like play football, all different activities like this. And we actually have the highest amount of parks for any capital city in all of Europe. We're synonymous with sport as well. We have 19 professional football clubs. Obviously only one matters, and that's my team, Crystal Palace. The rest we can just ignore. But we've had the Olympics in 2012. There's rugby, cricket, every sport you can imagine is here. And we have over, well, just almost about 2,000 years of history. The city was founded by the Romans, I think in like AD 42 or AD 49, but there was always some kind of settlement in this area. So it's been going a long old time now. The Goldsmiths itself, so this map shows you central London. Just in the top left, you can see all the icons saying Buckingham Palace and Big Ben, the London Eye, things like this. Goldsmiths is just down on the bottom right of this map in an area called New Cross. And where we are, we have 2 train stations, New Cross and New Cross Gate. These are separate train stations and separate train lines, but both go into London Bridge right in the middle of that map there. And like it says here, it takes about 9 minutes from our campus to one of these train stations and out at London Bridge, just one stop on that train. You can get to Buckingham Palace in about 25 minutes. You can get to Oxford Circus, where like the Oxford Street is, like our main shopping high street. You can get there in about 27 minutes. You can get to the Tate Modern, one of my favorite modern art galleries. You can get there in about 20 minutes as well. But even to a place like Shoreditch, which is a really fun place to go out in the evening, you can get there in 15 minutes. But also the airports. You can get to Gatwick Airport in 43 minutes, Heathrow in an hour 15. So it's really, really easy to get around and really easy to get around the city and to, you know, see different things from our campus. This photograph here shows you our campus. Everything inside this thin orange line at the bottom, that is our campus. Every building you need is in one place, whether it's the lecture theatres or the media labs, the psychology labs, the art studios, the library, or even the offices is all there for you. We have about 7 or maybe 8 different accommodation buildings, which you can see dotted around this photograph. There are some right on the campus and then some just over the road. And then the furthest 2 away, there's one you can see on the left of this photograph, the top left, it says halls with an arrow pointing left. That accommodation building is about a 15-minute bus ride away. And at the top right of the photograph, there's one just there that's about a 10-minute train ride away. But it's really easy to get from any of the halls to our campus. We also guarantee rooms for all international students who study with us, so we can take care of you there. And in this photograph, you can see the city centre at the top of the photograph where it says the Shard, Tate Modern, London Bridge. That's it all right there. And like I said earlier, 10 minutes on that train line, which you can see in the middle, just going straight in, and you can be in the city in no time at all. Now, in terms of what we actually teach, like I said at the start, Goldsmiths is considered to be a arts, humanities and social sciences university. So we are really famous for our art and design programs. We've taught some of the most amazing artists and designers in the world, but then also our media department. We teach everyone from film and TV students to journalism to creative writing and everything in between. Our psychology department is incredible as well. We have focuses on cognitive neuroscience, clinical psychology and forensic psychology. But then also we teach things like law, politics and international relations, history, but then also sociology, anthropology, all different areas like this. In terms of what we do, we are considered really good. Obviously, it's not just me, but we are ranked quite highly for some of our departments. We're 11th in the world for media, 12th in the world for art history, 22nd in the world for art and design, 44th for performing arts, 51st for anthropology, 58th for sociology, 80th for English language and literature, and 151st for psychology as well. Then as well, the impact that this then has on our students, it really helps them move forward to get work when they've graduated. So be it in the city or around the UK. So in terms of the grade that students get when they graduate, 77% of our international non-EU undergrad students were awarded a first or a 2-1. These are the top 2 grades you can get back in 2020 and 2021. Over 1,400 students have taken course-related work placements whilst they studied with us. And also, I've not really mentioned this, but we're part of the University of London. This is a federation of universities in London that includes UCL, King's College London, London School of Economics, lots of wonderful places like this. And together we have a combined careers service, which is, like it says here, the largest career service in Europe. There's a website that students can access that has lots of vacancies posted to it. There's also a team you can go and speak to who will give you advice on how to format your resume, how to apply for jobs, all different things like this. Our students, like I keep on saying, our students do really well. There's lots of our students who've ended up with jobs at places like the UK government, the BBC, Sony, Deloitte, the British Council, all different wonderful places like this. Now, obviously, here we're today to work with the British Council on the Great Scholarship, and I'm going to just go through how it works at Goldsmiths. You can apply for any postgraduate taught programme at Goldsmiths to try and access the Great Scholarship. The award is worth £10,000 as a fee waiver. So the average tuition fee at Goldsmiths is approximately £19,000 for the year. Some courses are a little bit cheaper, some courses are a bit more expensive, but £19,000 is the average price. So this award would take £10,000 off that £19,000 tuition fee. The application deadline for the Great Scholarship is the 13th of May 2024. So there will only be issuing one award for a student from Turkey, and you have to be entering the programme September 2024. So that's this year. The way we review the application, like it says on the screen here, the awards will be based on a combination of academic merit, so seeing what grades you have achieved previously, and then also the information you give on the application form. There's a personal statement you have to fill in explaining why you should get the scholarship. Students must have accepted their offer to study with us for September 2024 for one of the postgraduate taught programs at Goldsmiths. And like I said, it's just for one person from Turkey, and you must be a passport holder from Turkey as well. Now, I'm just going to quickly go through our academic entry requirements, just so we're all clear of what we expect. On all of our course pages on our website, you'll see a sentence like this. You should have or expect to be awarded an undergraduate degree of at least upper second class standard or equivalent in a relevant or related subject. Now, upper second class standard means a 2-1 UK degree. That's a UK classification. I'll explain this in a second. But some programs may have extra requirements, for example, like work experience, where we'd usually expect to see 3 to 5 years experience, or sometimes we may state a specific subject that we would like you to have. For example, if you want to study psychology, we would normally expect you to have a psychology bachelor's degree, undergraduate degree to get into the program. But for further information, you can look under the entry requirements box on each of the course pages. Now, just to be clear, like I said, we expect a 2-1 degree for most of our programs. So if your grades from Turkey, for example, are a GPA out of 4, that would be 2.8 that we need. We then maybe need 65 to 70% if you get a percentage, or about 7 out of 10 if you're graded out of 10. That's usually what we need. So the middle classification on this page here. You'd also most likely need to prove your level of English, and this is usually done with an IELTS. For almost all of our programs, we need a 6.5 overall with a minimum 6.5 in writing. There are a few programs, for example, journalism, where we need a grade of 7.0 overall. But again, you can double check this in the entry requirements box on each course page. Now, I think I'm going to go through some of the alumni that have studied at Goldsmiths and sort of talk a little bit more about, what makes it sort of really good and what our students have gone on to do. So like I said at the start, since 1904, Goldsmiths have been part of the University of London, and together we've taught some really amazing people. So this includes 55 presidents and prime ministers, 84 Nobel laureates, and 6 Grammy winners, to name just a few. But specifically at Goldsmiths, we've taught people like Steve McQueen, who was the first Black director to win the Best Picture Oscar at the Oscar Awards in Hollywood. He won, I think it was in 2013 or maybe 2012, for his film called 12 Years a Slave, which I think is still on Netflix at the moment. If you haven't seen it, it's incredible. I would definitely recommend watching this. But we've also taught artists like Damien Hirst, this man in the photograph here. He was a winner of the Turner Arts Prize, which is the biggest arts prize in the UK. Steve McQueen actually won this prize as well. But we've taught 9 Turner Prize winners, and we've had 26 nominees. I think we're up to 27 this year, and it's more than any other university in the UK. We've taught people as well like Vivienne Westwood, a famous fashion designer, Anthony Gormley, Katie B, who's a musician, James Blake, who is a huge musician at the moment, but even people like Damon Albarn, who's in the band Blur, and also Gorillaz. There's quite a long list of creators that have been with us. So there's James Blake on the left there, and then there's two women on this page here as well. So Mary Quant is at the top and Margaret Howell at the bottom. Margaret Howell has a really wonderful chain of shops around the world, fashion shops. And Mary Quant, bless her, she died last year, but she studied with us in the late 1950s. And in the 1960s, she's credited as being the first person in the world to design both the hot pants and the mini skirt. And it's an example, obviously you can see her work all around the world every day of the week, but it's an example of how Goldsmith students, this still happens. The design work, the artwork, the media work they do, you can see everywhere you go, and it has a lasting impact, and it's really quite amazing what they do. We've also taught novelists like Evie Wilde, John Harvey and Ross Raisin. And then the gentleman at the bottom is Simon Hale, Adrian Sutton and Paul Inglishby, who between them as composers have won almost every award they can win. We're just missing, I think it's a Grammy and an Oscar for composer, and then they might have it all. But then we've also taught people who've worked in the record industry, like Rob Stringer at the top and Terry Felgates as the music record industry. But it's not just all these creators that we've taught. We've taught some really amazing people, people who we may not know, who may not be world famous, but they're out there doing amazing things, like the 336 psychologists, 487 social workers, 882 designers, 7,308 teachers, and 1,840 historians. And these all together, and hopefully including you, make one Goldsmiths. I just want to wrap up by saying, this is obviously a photograph of London. I took this on a flight home from Berlin, but I think it's a beautiful well, it's a beautiful city that I love to call home, and I think you should come join it. And in this photograph, you see everything from the London Eye at the top to the Tower of London at the bottom. And I think it's a really great place to come and experience life and be a student and get that start in life. But yeah, if you guys do have any questions, feel free to reach out. My email address and mobile phone number are on the screen now. You can get me on WhatsApp, and I really recommend our YouTube channel. Some really wonderful videos on there as well, where you can see our campus, see the area, and learn about our departments. But yeah, thank you for joining me today.
Jake, that was lovely thing. What a beautiful photo you've taken.
Oh, thank you very much.
Let me see if there are any questions specifically for you. Some questions actually come after, you know, representatives leave. So if I receive any questions, I'll let you know.
Please do.
I think at this moment, no question for you. Thank you.
That's okay.
And see you next time.
Absolutely.
See you soon in Istanbul, I believe. Bye-bye.
Yes, absolutely. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Laura, are you there? Laura? Are you there? I see Laura Williamson from Napier University, but she cannot join. Let me see if we have the next person line up. Otherwise, we will give 5-10 minutes break until the next speaker arrives. Charlotte's here. Okay, good timing. Charlotte, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Semra.
Hi. Actually, we were running late, but then one of the representatives is not answering. So good timing. You are here. So
fantastic.
We can start. Yes, we can start for your session. I'll put you on the screen.
Thank you very much. Are you wanting me to share slides? Is that okay?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I can see how to do that now.
Please do that.
Brilliant. Fantastic, everyone. Semra, I can't see you anymore, so you'll have to tell me if anything's not working.
All good.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Wonderful. So hi, everyone. My name's Charlotte Davison, and I'm the regional manager for Loughborough University, who looks after Turkey. You might be able to see behind me, I'm working from home today because I'm packing, as I'm actually flying out to Istanbul this week. So trying to get my suitcase all packed, ready to head back to Turkey, which is one of my favourite countries. But I support all of our Turkish applicants. I've worked at Loughborough for 10 years now, and before that I studied at Loughborough, and I live in Loughborough. So in the bottom of that screen there you can see our campus, and just in the very bottom corner you can actually see my house as well. So I live walking distance to the university campus. So I'm going to give you a very quick overview. So Loughborough University actually has 2 campuses for postgraduate students. We have one in Loughborough, which is right in the middle of England, and we also have a postgraduate only campus in London. So 2 different options for you, whether you want to live in the middle of England or whether you'd like to live in London. I'm sure you know where London is and you've heard of London before, but it's unusual for students to have heard of Loughborough as a place. We're a market town known for our university right in the middle of England. So 10 minutes from Leicester, 20 minutes from Nottingham as our nearest big cities, about 1 hour from Birmingham, or 1 hour and 10 minutes on the train into London. And our Loughborough campus, which I'll introduce first, is one of the biggest single site campuses in the UK. And here's this picture that I showed you earlier, just slightly increased. And this is why I chose to study at Loughborough and then to live in Loughborough. It's a really friendly, family-oriented place. Lots of stuff going on, very much a student city. Loughborough, 1 in 4 people in Loughborough is a student, which is a really fun, really vibrant environment. And we have a mix of undergraduate and postgraduate students, and around 20% of our student population is international. And just to give you a bit of kind of context, this is a screenshot of Google Maps. So where all the purple stuff is, that's the university's accommodation, academic buildings, and then up kind of to the top right of that is Loughborough Town Centre, which is around a 15-minute walk. And Loughborough has everything you need as students. We've got shops, restaurants, nightlife, supermarkets, cinemas. It's a really, really lovely place to live. And one of the advantages of living in Loughborough is that it's quite a cheap place to live as well, comparative to the UK. So our accommodation for postgraduate students starts at £5,000 for the year for the cheaper options. So let me tell you a little bit about Loughborough and why we're such a great institution. So we're ranked top 10 in all of the UK league tables and have been consistently for the last 10 years. And we have a number of our popular subjects are in the world, either top 50 or top 100 as well in the QS. So including our art and design, communication and media, engineering. But our sports programs are particularly popular as they're ranked first in the world as well. But as well as our academic rankings, we're very successful in winning awards for our student experience, our university facilities, sports. We're very research intensive, and our links with industry and employability as well. So if you're thinking of studying with us at Loughborough, we have 7 or 8 different schools in our Loughborough campus and 1 school at our London campus, and we teach everything from engineering and sciences through to sports science, biosciences, business and economics, social sciences, and design and creative arts. And what I love about our Turkish population is that they are studying a whole range of different subjects with us. At our London campus, we have different programs. Particularly popular with Turkish students down there are diplomacy and international governance, international management, digital technologies, and the sports business program as well. And Loughborough is one of a few universities in the UK which is very famous for our teaching quality. So we got triple gold in the Teaching Excellence Framework last year, but we're also research intensive as well. So we're in the top 10 for research intensity in the UK in the previous ref. All of our academics, all of our teaching staff are researching academics as well. And that links into your employability. So both the teaching and the research will link into employability. Most of our courses will include either industry-led teaching or internship opportunities. And that means that we are top 100 in the world for graduate employability in the QS, second in the UK for job prospects and industry connections as well. One of the things that Loughborough is very famous for is our student experience. So coming to the UK, whether you've done your bachelor's programme in the UK or whether you're just coming for your postgraduate, it's a really good time, not just to get a great degree, but to have a really good, fun year as well. Meet lots of people, get involved in different things, network and expand your opportunities. And Loughborough's, both of our campuses are home to a huge number of things to get involved with. And our hashtag, it's very cheesy, but we're the Loughborough family. Lots of support for our students from our international student network through to committees and departments and social activities within your department. 170 different clubs and societies, lots of volunteering and charity work, all sorts of things to get involved with. And then you can't really talk about Loughborough without talking about sports. Lots of students will know Loughborough for sports. You'd have seen on our first campus all of the outdoor sports facilities that we have. Our London campus, which I will talk about in a second, is actually on the Olympic Park in London, so we have access to some of the best facilities in the UK. The campus in the East Midlands is home to most of British sporting bodies, so British swimming, British athletics, England cricket, England netball. We have an NFL academy on campus. We are one of, if not the best, sporting universities in the world. And that's amazing if you want to come as an athlete, or if you want to study sport or sports industry or sports business. But also if you're someone who's a little like me, who I'm not going to be an elite athlete, but I enjoy playing sports, I enjoy swimming, I enjoy going to the gym and using those opportunities. So to talk about our London campus, so Loughborough University is over 100 years old. We started teaching in 1909, teaching engineering as our first set of subjects. In 2015, we opened our London campus on the 2012 Olympic Park, which is in East London. It's 6 minutes on the train from King's Cross St Pancras, or 20 minutes on the underground into Oxford Street. So slightly out of central London, but super quick to get in. And it's a really, really cool area of London. And this photo is quite old, but the Here East building is where Loughborough University's campus is, where our teaching facilities, our social activities, etc. are. And you can see in there, you can see Canary Wharf in that picture, you can see the Olympic Stadium, you can see Stratford, Westfield Stratford, which is one of the largest shopping centres in Western Europe. And next door to that, we have university accommodation. So we are able to offer our postgraduate students accommodation in London, which I know is a concern for a lot of students moving to London. But it's a really, really vibrant area. To the east of that photo is Hackney Wick, which is really cool, really kind of coffee shops, craft breweries, pizza places, street art. It's a really, really cool area. And I mentioned some of the things that we teach down there previously. A lot of our courses are multidisciplinary and kind of teach across, and there's also a big focus at our London campus in particular about building your career, building your networks, and making sure you're ready for the world of work. So some of our students are coming straight from bachelor's, but a lot are coming from industry as well. And one of the ways we do this is our collaborative project, which is a real life work experience piece you will do with one of our industry partners. Previous partners, we work with the NHS, with Chelsea Football Club, with London Stadium, with West Ham, for example, to do a real life project which you pitch to those industry directors. And a lot of students will carry on with that project and do an internship or a research project instead of writing a dissertation on their degree. So that's an option as well. Coming as an international student to either of our campuses, you've got lots and lots of support from my team in the international office, through to pre-sessional English support, through departures, our international student experience team, the Students' Union, our international student advice, and our chaplaincy and religious societies as well. And as I mentioned, around 20% of our students are international. Coming from Turkey as a postgraduate student, most of our courses would be looking for a minimum of a 2.5 overall. So depending on the programme, it's looking at a 2.5 or a 3 GPA. And I know we're here to talk about the great scholarships, but if you were to get a 3.5 and you're not successful in your great scholarship application, you would be eligible for a 20% scholarship based on your grades. But for great scholarships, Loughborough University is really excited to offer £18,000 towards that scholarship. So that was kind of my introduction to Loughborough. So we're top 10 in the UK league tables, number 1 in the world for sports, top 200 for most of our subject areas. 2 different campuses for you to choose from, very much a focus on your employability, through collaborative projects, industry links, etc. And also really want you to have a great time whilst you're here as well. So that was my introduction to Loughborough. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be very happy to take those.
Thank you, Charlotte. Let me check the questions. Well, there is a question about application fee. Do you require an application fee?
No, so application for postgraduate courses is a direct application through our website. So you would just put in your previous education history, whether you finished your bachelor's or what you expect to graduate with, 1 academic reference and a short statement of why you want to study with us.
Okay, while we have you here, is the application fee common for the UK? Only maybe few or not?
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
I know some universities ask for an application fee, and some courses within some institutions will ask. So it's very much a case of students doing their own research. What is more common is that an application would be free, but there may be some sort of deposit payment once you receive an offer, if you would like to accept that offer.
Okay then. Thank you. Well, there's no other question. Then thank you, Charlotte. Have a safe journey to Istanbul. Looking forward to seeing you here.
Thank you very much, Semra, and I hope to see lots of Turkish students in Loughborough, hopefully in September or in the next few years.
Hope so too.
Fantastic.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Stephen North from Newcastle University is on the line. Let me put you on the screen, Stephen. And do you have slides to share with the audience?
I do, so if you could just bear with me a second, Semra,
Sure.
I'll just try and connect these.
Why? Okay. Yes.
Okay, so if you're ready for me, do you want me to go
Yes.
straight into it? Okay, so yeah, good evening. I'm probably in a similar time zone. I'm about 1 hour ahead of Turkey. I'm currently in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. So I've just been in Saudi. I just came here. I'm going back to the UK for a week, and then I will be back because I'm coming out to Turkey for some events. I think I fly out around about the 17th, 18th of March, so I will be in Turkey very, very soon. So I'm the regional manager for the Middle East and Turkey, and I'm here to talk about the great scholarship, but also introduce you to Newcastle University. So who are Newcastle University? So we've got a very good global reputation. As a university, the QS World Rankings, we're ranked 110 in the world. In the Times rankings, we're 139th in the world. So a really good reputation. We're one of the initial founder members of the Russell Group. So initially it was 20 universities. It's been recently expanded to 24. In the UK, we're normally ranked in the top 20. So the latest two rankings were in the top 20 of both of those. But also in terms of the QS stars, we're one of only a number of universities to get more than 5+ QS stars. I think we got something in the region of 7. So we like being benchmarked against lots of kind of metrics to make sure we're offering a good degree program and a good experience for our students. The way that the university is structured, we have 3 faculties. So we've got the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. We've got the Faculty of Science, Agriculture and Engineering, and agriculture is fairly niche. Not many universities will offer that. So we know sometimes that's useful for people applying from Turkey. And then we also have our Faculty of Medical Sciences. In terms of the schools that make up the various faculties, I'll just go on to those now. So in Humanities and Social Sciences, these tend to be things like architecture, planning, arts. Architecture, very popular in Turkey. Also, we have geography, sociology, politics, history, including archaeology, museum and gallery studies, the law school, and obviously the biggest of the lot, the business school. In the Faculty of Science, Agriculture and Engineering, there are 4 schools within that, the biggest being engineering, which covers a lot of the kind of main engineering branches. So we've got chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical. We've got a niche program, a niche school in marine technology or marine engineering. So for those who are living in Izmir or maybe Istanbul, where you've got seafaring jobs, then we have degrees that are linked to those industries. We're very strong in the area of renewable energy, and within mechanical engineering we have also biomedical engineering, so it's quite niche. We recently spent £110 million updating our facilities in our School of Mechanical Engineering, the Stevenson building, so students have access to state-of-the-art facilities. A School of Natural and Environmental Sciences includes things like agriculture, biology, chemistry, food, and marine science, mainly the marine biology side of things. Second biggest school in this faculty is computing, and big programs at the moment, things like data science, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity. And then it's a smaller school, but grown in popularity, maths, statistics and physics. A faculty of medical sciences, that normally covers the main undergraduate degrees of medicine and dentistry and also pharmacy. And because those are undergraduate master's type programs, it means limited options for clinical programs in these areas. But we do have a range of programs in things like biomedical and biomolecular sciences, as well as nutrition, psychology, and sport and exercise science. For students coming from Turkey, the entry requirements will vary depending on the degree program they're applying to. So, for example, high demand programs like our data science programs, we're normally asking for a first class honours, and we've only started asking for that from this year. Unfortunately, that means we're asking for a 3.5 out of 4 from the Turkish system. For the vast majority of other programs, though, a GPA is somewhere in the region of 2.6 to 2.8, depending on which degree you're applying to, although sometimes we will give additional consideration to those candidates who are applying from some of the top universities. To give you a range of the kind of fees of our programs, so at the lower end, we've got degrees like law, which is classroom based and therefore not very high in terms of the overall overheads for the program, around about £23,500. At the other end of the scale, we have our MSc in data science, which is probably one of our most expensive non-clinical programs at £30,600. But obviously students who get the great scholarship at Newcastle, that value is worth £10,000. We also have a number of scholarships for those who aren't successful in the Great Scholarship application. If you apply for the Newcastle University Excellence Scholarship, we have a number of scholarships worth 25% of the tuition fees. So Newcastle, every time I come to Istanbul, it reminds me slightly of Newcastle upon Tyne. It's got two sides of it. It's separated by a body of water. It's got lots of bridges, but our bridges are not quite as impressive as the ones that you have in Istanbul. And ours is, the body of water is just a river, yours is the sea. But it is a lively, friendly student city. Population is only around about 300,000, so a lot smaller than Istanbul. But we're well connected with the rest of the UK as well. Trains to London, less than 3 hours. Edinburgh, just 90 minutes away by train. So Leeds, Birmingham, Liverpool, well connected from Newcastle. We have an international airport, and the airport was actually recognised as the best airport in the world for less than 5 million passengers a year. So that should tell you it's not really a busy airport. And you'd be glad to see that we've got regular flight destinations, which include year-round flights to Antalya, Paris, Amsterdam, London, Munich and Dubai. During the summer season, we also have flights to Bodrum, Dalaman and Izmir. So obviously Turkey is a popular destination for people in Newcastle to go on their holidays. And these are some of the photos of the city. So maybe for any tea drinkers out there, you might have heard of a blend of tea called Earl Grey tea. And if you've ever wondered where the name Earl Grey came from, it's Grey, who was actually from Newcastle. So Grey Street is actually named after Earl Grey. And at the top of it, you can see in the top left, a statue to Earl Grey. It looks a bit like Nelson's Column in London, but that's the statue to Earl Grey. So for those who ever wondered where the name Earl Grey came from, that's the person it was named after. We are on the coast, so 25 minutes away by metro, you can go to the beach. So you've got Long Sands Beach. As I mentioned, we've got the bridges going over the River Tyne. One of the most famous ones, the Tyne Bridge, which is the same model as the Sydney Harbour Bridge, but ours is a little bit smaller. And just a short walk from the university campus, you've got nature, countryside. Jesmond Dean is just a 15-minute walk from the main university campus. So if you want some peace and quiet, you don't have to go far. And this is an overall picture of the city. And so you can see the central station, the rail station, the business school. One of the most iconic places in the city is obviously the football stadium, St James's Park. In Newcastle, we just have the one team. And a bit like Besiktas, they play in black and white. But you'll see the main campus on the top right. And beyond that, you've got countryside, so peace and quiet and nature. You're a stone's throw from the city centre. For postgraduates, we have a range of university-owned accommodation. So the cheapest one we have is around about £98 a week. And the most expensive for something like a 3-bedroom flat, £224 a week. But that includes all the bills, including the Wi-Fi. And obviously you have to pay for your own food. So it can be extremely affordable. And the pictures I've got there, so we've got Bowston Court, we've got the Grand Hotel in the centre, which is next door to the building that I work in, which is the Kingsgate building, the glass building you can just see on the right. And then Jesmond Road, which is the kind of lowest end of our university postgraduate accommodation. And I'd really like to stop there and give you the opportunity for any questions that you may have. So Tishigala.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm checking the questions. Well, questions sometimes come after. If it is the case, I'll message you with the questions, and then I can share the answers with everyone. Just for your info, we have almost 500 registrants for the webinar. Around, on average, 50 participants. In this case, thank you very much, Stephen, for your time. And I would like to invite Laura again. She's been having some technical issue. So we'll try with her again. Thank you, and see you.
Thank you. Bye now.
See you in Turkey soon. Laura, can you hear me now? Laura? Laura? Laura, I think your technical issue is still ongoing, is persistent. I'm really sorry. I don't know what to do here in this end. Yes, unfortunately, I mean, maybe I need to, select you as a representative, but it doesn't let me do so. So I'm really sorry. In this case, we are waiting for the next speaker to arrive, which is Alex Robinson from University of Hull. He should be here in a few minutes if you, wait, everyone. Wait for the next session. That will be great. Laura, email me if you like, and then we can carry on there. I'm really sorry. We are just waiting for the next speaker, Alex Robinson from University of Hull. Okay, well, just Laura, message me. Laura, that will be great if you could send me your recording and the slides. I can always share your recording with the participants and all registrants actually. Not a problem. I'm really sorry it didn't work for you. Please hold on, everyone, for another few minutes. I'm sure Alex from University of Hull will be here shortly. Thank you. Yes, Alex is here, I think. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Semra. Hello.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hello.
Sorry. Apologies if I'm late. I thought I was on
No,
5 minutes.
one of the universities actually has having an issue with the with technical issue. So you are early, which is fine. We can carry on.
Lovely.
With your session. So you are live. If you share your slides with me, I'll put them together.
Okay, you'd like me to send you the slides?
Yes, please do share them on the screen.
No problem. Hopefully you can see this.
Your slides are on now. Up with you. Just a sec. Yes, you can start.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Semra. Hi, everybody. My name is Alex, and I'm an international recruitment officer here at the University of Hull. And I'm really happy to be here today to be talking all about our great scholarship here at the University of Hull for one Turkish student. Just so everybody knows, I am the recruitment officer for Turkey. So please, if you've got any questions about the University of Hull, I'm always happy to receive emails. You can see my email address on screen just there. So please do go ahead and send me any of your questions. I'll very quickly start with just a couple of did you knows about the university and about the city of Hull. So first of all, the UK is often known for its red telephone boxes, but here in Hull, we're just a little bit different. We have cream or white telephone boxes, which just shows kind of a little bit of our personality here in the city. And also our football club is owned by somebody who's relatively famous, I believe, in Turkey. So Hull City Football Club is owned by Acun Agila, and I believe he bought the club a couple of years ago now. We're doing really well, and what's really great for our students is that our university campus is not too far from the home of Hull City and the MKM Stadium. You can walk to the stadium and go and see many of the Hull City games. A little bit about Hull itself. So Hull is based in the north of England. We're based kind of along the northeast coast, and we're kind of slap bang in between the cities of London and Edinburgh. In terms of cities which are closer to Hull, York and Leeds are around about a 1 hour train journey away from Hull, and the largest city in the north of England, Manchester, is 2 hours train journey away. Our capital city, London, is really easy to get to from Hull. We have 8 direct trains every single day, and it takes around about 2.5 hours to travel to Hull from London. In terms of who we are as a university, we were founded 97 years ago in 1927, which makes us one of the oldest universities in England. And it means that we have a traditional English collegiate environment. What that means is when you walk around our campus, you will be surrounded by sort of red brick buildings. So you'll see, you'll kind of have a traditional UK university experience here at the University of Hull. We have approximately 15,000 students here at Hull, and over 3,000 of those students are international students, which means that we have a really great, buzzing and diverse campus, and we have lots of ongoing investment into our campus. In terms of who we are in rankings, we were ranked 52nd in the UK by the QS World University Rankings, and we were ranked 42nd in the UK for our research excellence as well. And what that means is when you study a degree here at the University of Hull, you will be taught by people who are at the forefront of their research. So you're always guaranteed to be taught by somebody who is often teaching some well-renowned research. And we were also awarded the top 100 place in the whole world by the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings in 2022. Here is a snapshot of our campus. We have quite a large campus and we are a single site campus here in the city of Hull. And I'm just going to point out a few of our highlights here on our campus. So at the front of our campus, you'll see the Hull University Business School. This business school is a fantastic school. We hold accreditations that are held by less than 5% of the world's leading business schools. And so many of our subjects, including business management, marketing, accounting and finance, logistics and supply chain management, these sorts of subjects are all taught within our business school. You'll also see in the middle of our campus, the tall building is the Bryn Mawr Jones Library. And this library is 7 stories high. It holds over 1 million resources, and it's just a fantastic space for our students to really consolidate their learning. So we've got a really great silent reading room in there. We've got a cafe as well for if you need a midnight snack during one of your cramming sessions. We've got many workspaces for students to use, and you can also book a group learning room as well if you have any group learning sort of presentations and things you need to put together for your programme. What we've also got on campus are 3 really great on-campus accommodation options. So we've got Westfield Court to the west of our campus. To the north of our campus, we have the courtyard accommodation, and then it's kind of tucked away just here. We've also got the Taylor Court accommodation. So all of our accommodation is on campus, which means that our students are never more than sort of a 10-minute walk away from wherever they need to be, whether that is the library, whether that is their lectures, maybe it's the sports centre or our students' union, which houses our on-site pub. It has our club as well, and it has lots of student services available that are all free for our students to take advantage of. And as I say, everything is all on one campus, and our campus is monitored 24 hours a day, 365 days per year by our helpful and professional facility and securities team. So it's a very safe place to be. I have worked at the university for 6 years. I was also a student before that time, and I've always felt really safe walking around this campus. So it's a really lovely place to be. And two of our on-campus accommodation options, the Courtyard and Westfield Court, have staff on site 24 hours a day. So there's always somebody around should you be having an emergency or need any help. The sorts of different subjects that you can study at the University of Hull. So we have 4 different faculties. The Faculty of Arts, Cultures and Education, you can study a broad range of topics, but some of our highlighted ones are education and TESOL. You can study creative writing, history, music is a really popular course within this faculty. In our Faculty of Business Law and Politics, all of our business programmes are located within this faculty, which include marketing and logistics. You can also study politics, and our current great scholar from Turkey is actually studying MA International Politics here at the University of Hull. We also offer an international law programme as well. So lots of different options in that faculty. Within the Faculty of Health Sciences, we have biomedical science, psychology. We offer postgraduate nursing programmes as well. And in the Faculty of Science and Engineering, again, lots of different subject areas, but some of the highlights include computer science, engineering, renewable engineering as well. So our renewable energy programmes are always really popular at Hull with our postgraduate students. So we offer a range of different programmes here at Hull. In terms of our tuition fees for our postgraduate programmes, so our tuition fees range from £12,000 up to £18,000. So for many of our arts programmes and our law and politics programmes, you will be paying £12,000 tuition fee. Then, depending on the programme, it may go up to sort of £15,000 for our business programmes. And then many of our science and engineering and health sciences programmes, you will pay between £14,000 and £18,000 to study with us. These are our postgraduate taught tuition fees. We do offer postgraduate research programmes here at Hull, but unfortunately you're not able to apply for a Great Scholarship for a postgraduate research course. But for any students who may be interested, our fees range from £17,300 up to £19,950 per academic year for our postgraduate research courses. Now, in terms of our Great Scholarship opportunity here at the University of Hull, we have one £10,000 tuition fee discount available for one Turkish student who will be joining us in September 2024. And in order to be eligible for this scholarship, I've listed our eligibility criteria here on screen, but you must be a Turkish national and hold a passport from Turkey. You must have received an offer to study a postgraduate taught programme here at the University of Hull. You must have achieved or are working towards the equivalent of a 2-1 degree here at the University of Hull. And for Turkish undergraduate degree programmes, this would be equivalent to a 3.0 out of 4.0 GPA. You must have achieved the English language qualification for your programme. The majority of our postgraduate programmes require an IELTS score of 6.5 with 5.5 in each skill. Some of our programmes do require slightly more than that, so please do check that against your offer letter. You must not have previously studied in the UK, and you must have completed our Great Scholarship application form by the deadline of the 31st of May 2024. So there's still 3 months to submit your application, so there's lots of time to go ahead and do that. The way that you apply for our Great Scholarship is via our application form, and this can be found on our Great Scholarship website. So please either use the link that's on screen or just type into your search engine, University of Hull, Great Scholarship, and it will take you through to our webpage. And it has all of the eligibility criteria on there, and it also has the link to our application form. So please go ahead and use that form. You can apply for our scholarship before you have your final mark sheet and English language test, but you must have received your English language test results before the deadline of the 31st of May. So I would really recommend maybe prioritise your English language test as soon as you can do in order to have your English language test result by the 31st of May 2024. And there's a couple of different ways that you can apply to Hull. You can apply to us via our admissions portal. So the way to do that would be once you have found your desired postgraduate taught programme here at the University of Hull. If you find the web page for that, and on that web page there will be a big button which says apply now. And you can submit your application through there, or you can also apply via an agent. We work with many different agents in Turkey. All of them are fantastic and very, very much trusted, and they can help you through each stage of your application. So whether that is from your very point of starting your application, they will help you to submit your application. They'll help you with the visa process as well. So I really always recommend using an agent if possible, and you can find all of our trusted agents on our Turkey webpage. Again, you can either use the link on screen or just type in University of Hull, Turkey, and it will show you our webpage with all of our trusted agents on there. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. If you've got any more questions at all, you can always contact our international inquiries team at global@hull.ac.uk. Our telephone number and our mobile number is also on screen, and you can always WhatsApp us via that mobile number. We're always happy to receive your inquiry. And also, if there's any questions right now for me, I'll be very happy to take those. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex. Let me see if we have any questions for you. Not at the moment.
No problem.
Questions actually may come quite later sometimes, but yeah, if there are any questions, I'll let you know.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
We'll let you go. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. And Emma. Emma Spittles from University of Kent.
Oh, I was on mute. Hi, Semra. Hi, everyone.
Hi. I'll put you on the screen. Can you share your slides, please?
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds while I click things to make sure it's all done. Oh, gosh. Oh, not that. Right, let me see if this will work. I need that one. Perfect. Can you see that one okay?
Yep.
Excellent. I will crack on then. Brilliant. Hi, everybody. Welcome and good evening your time, but it's good afternoon my time. My name is Emma, and I am the Senior International Officer at the University of Kent. I've been at Kent now for nearly 4 years, which is crazy how quickly that's gone. And I've been to Turkey many times, so I'm delighted to be able to come and speak to you today to give you a bit of insight in terms of the University of Kent and focusing a little bit on the scholarships we have, particularly in the great scholarships in collaboration with the British Council. I have some lovely slides. I say lovely being the operative word, so please do bear with me while I go through them. But there's lots of information in there and lots of sort of details that are definitely worth taking a note of, particularly if you are looking for funding for this September. So hopefully most of you have heard of the University of Kent. Don't worry if you haven't, I will not be offended, but it's always good to kind of give you a bit of an introduction in terms of where we're located. So one of the unique things about the University of Kent is that we do actually have 3 campuses in total. We have 2 that are based in the UK and 1 in our Paris campus as well. The Paris campus is specifically targeted for postgraduate masters, particularly in arts and culture. But for the majority of students, particularly those who are looking to apply for the Great Scholarship, it is the UK campuses that you need to look at, particularly Medway and Canterbury. So Kent is the county of Kent, which is in the southeast corner of the UK, in that little square, as you can see on the UK map there. And the county of Kent is known as the Garden of England. And the reason for that is because it's very, very green, lots of agricultural space, lots of fantastic landscapes, whether it be kind of hillsides, but also kind of rugged coastal landscapes as well. So lots of different natural environments for students to enjoy whilst they are studying at the University of Kent. And one of the other things you'll notice from that little map is you can see we are very much close to London. And for many students, that is a real massive benefit of studying at the University of Kent, is having that close proximity to the capital and all of the attractions and all of the interesting areas that London has to offer. We are just within 40 minutes or an hour on the train to central London, so it's very easy to get easy access in and out. But one of the really good things about our location is because we are outside of London, the costs of living, particularly accommodation costs, tend to be slightly cheaper than what you would find inside the city itself. So that's one of the benefits of studying and choosing the University of Kent. So just to give you a very quick overview about our 2 UK campuses. So this is our Canterbury campus, which is our main campus. As you can see on the image, it's a very large and expansive campus, but surrounded by lots of green open parkland. It's set within 300 acres, so it's a very large, expansive site, but it's an all-in-one campus, which means that everything you would need whilst you're studying is available on site. So both the academic facilities, first-class library, but also lots of extracurricular activities that you can get involved with, whether that be at the sports centre, you can go to the cinema, there's also a theatre, there's a couple of bars and restaurants and also a nightclub as well. So lots of things for you to do whilst you're studying, but also on the extracurricular sort of social side as well. Because we are a campus university, we are just outside the city centre. Hopefully some of you have heard of Canterbury. It's a very historic place. It's the home of the Canterbury Cathedral, which is a World UNESCO Heritage Site, and it has lots of facilities to support students studying at Kent. Namely, a lot of students would work in the Canterbury city centre whilst they are studying. So if you are looking for a job whilst you are studying, then Canterbury campus is definitely one to have a look at. As I mentioned, it's less than an hour by train to London. And one of the other really great things is that each year we have around 16,000 students studying at our Canterbury campus. So it is a very multicultural, very much an international community we have amongst the student population there. Accommodation is very, very accessible, nearly 5,500 accommodation rooms available on site. Particularly for postgraduate students, there is a dedicated halls of residence where you can get a ensuite room available. Prices generally range from about £5,000 up to £9,000 each academic year. So there's definitely a room to suit your budget. Our second UK campus is Medway, which is a little bit closer to London. It's within sort of 40 minutes train ride from central London. It is a more specialised campus. It is a little bit smaller in terms of its size, but it has a lot of history and culture associated with this part of Kent. So the campus itself is a reclaimed dockyard site. So a lot of the buildings are very historical, lots of kind of red brick buildings. It is actually shared with other universities, including the University of Greenwich and Canterbury Christchurch. So there's a real sort of different feel and different vibe to the student community there. Some of the programmes delivered at Medway include some of the business programmes, some of the more creative programmes such as music and drama and journalism are all delivered at our Medway campus, as well as some of the medical programmes as well. So, and very similar to Canterbury in terms of the offering of the campus, both the academic facility side, the social side, as well as the accommodation side as well. One of the other really good things about Medway campus is it has got guaranteed accommodation available. It's very, very close to campus. I think you just have to cross a road and you're almost there. So it is a really good place to be kind of based for the duration of your time at Kent, as well as being close to London. The Medway campus also offers a free shuttle bus between Medway and the Canterbury campuses. So if you have friends at Canterbury, don't worry, you could just hop on the free bus and it will take you there in about sort of half an hour, 40 minutes, traffic dependent. So it is very connected between the two campuses as well. So what exactly does Ken offer in terms of courses? As you can see from these 6 lovely purple boxes, we offer a lot in terms of subject areas. I'm sure you're relieved to hear I'm not going to go through every individual one because I know I've only got 15 minutes and we will be here for the foreseeable future if I did go through all of them. So if you, depending on what sort of your subject area is most of interest to you, I would definitely recommend checking out the University of Kent website, because on there you'll be able to see all of the different programs we have available, and in particular the sort of the unique specializations that you can get, particularly at postgraduate level in these respective areas. Just to give you a couple of examples, I'm going to flip to the next screen. 3 of probably of our most popular subjects for Turkish students. It probably won't come as a surprise to those of you who are watching that these are very, very popular subjects, particularly the Kent Business School. So the Kent Business School is a triple accredited. We are in the top 200 of the Times Higher Education International World Rankings. We are also part of the top 1% of global institutions who have this triple crown accredited. So in terms of the business school's accreditations and that professional expertise you could get from studying there, it does offer a lot in terms of specializations. So most popular subjects, and in no particular order, we have programs that look at international business and management, business analytics, digital marketing. We also have an MBA program, as well as the more specialised programs that look at human resource management, logistics and supply chain, or healthcare management. All of our postgraduate programs are 1 year in length at the business school, but all of them do come with a year in industry, which means that you can get work experience as part of your studying. So it's really definitely one to remember. Secondly, the other area I want to focus on is the School of Politics and International Relations. And this is an area that I know that many students from Turkey are very enthusiastic about studying, particularly looking at things such as international migration, international relations, looking at global governance and politics, maybe conflict analysis. All of these different areas are under the School of Politics and International Relations, so it's definitely one to have a look at. And thirdly, the Kent Law School, which is one of the UK's leading law schools. It's currently ranked in the top 20 of the Times Good Education Guide, and it's actually ranked number 2 for its research quality. So it's a very highly ranked school, both on the academics, but also on the research side as well. So it's definitely one to have a look at. Within the law school, you have lots of specializations that you can look for at the LLM level. So whether if you want to get specialization in human rights law, environmental law, looking at corporate law, or whether you want to get a broad LLM program, there's lots of things to choose from if you are looking to get that law degree. One of the other really great things is there are lots of placement opportunities within the law school as well through the Kent Law Clinic. So that's another good way to get some exposure and experience within the legal practice itself. So as well as offering lots of academic opportunities, Kent also offers what we call employability skills. And for us, it's not just about giving you the academic knowledge, but giving you those key skills that you can use when you are beginning your careers afterwards. So we call these transferable skills. So every degree that you do will be looking at and developing and enhancing your decision making, your leadership, your problem solving, your time management. All of these are key areas that you need to be able to demonstrate in whatever career that you want to go in. Many of the degree programs we have come with professional accreditations. So I already mentioned the business school, but other areas such as the School of Psychology or the School of Biosciences all offered accredited degrees. So it's always worth having a look at that if you are looking to go in that kind of direction. I mentioned the work experience both within the law clinic, but also the placement opportunities that many of our postgraduate degrees offer. So it's really, if you are looking to get a degree that comes with work experience, then the University of Kent is definitely one to look at. We do offer lots of employability and career prospects when it comes to support during your studies, but also after your studies as well. So the Careers Advisory Service organises lots of opportunities for you to meet potential employers here in the UK. So things like workshops, career fairs where companies come onto campus, both at Canterbury and Medway, and it's a chance for you to meet them and to find out what it's like to work in a particular industry. And of course, you can work during your studies, but also after your studies as well, with the existence of the post-study UK graduate option as well. So lots of ways that you can develop your careers and begin your sort of jobs after you've graduated from the University of Kent. I just want to touch upon sort of briefly in terms of the entry requirements. It's very similar to some of the other UK universities in terms of you have to apply via an online application system, you have to provide a personal statement, and you also need to meet our English language qualification. In terms of GPAs, for most of our postgraduate programs, you need a GPA of between 2.7 and 3 out of 4. Ideally, you would have a degree that's related to that subject that you're looking to study, although there are some programs that you can apply for through the conversion. So if you don't have a background in psychology, for example, you can apply for the psychology degree, the conversion program, which will allow you entry onto that particular subject. In terms of English language, usually for most of our programs, it's an IELTS of 6 overall, although some programs, particularly law, have a slightly higher requirement. I'm just going to sort of briefly talk to you about what it's like to be a student at Kent before I move on to the scholarships. So for us, because I mentioned right at the beginning, we have a good number of students joining us each year, not just from UK, but also international. And so being a student at Kent is a very inspiring and active life that you would have. The Kent Union plays a really key part in that. They do a lot of support, both in terms of the employability and kind of academic advice and support, but also on the social aspects as well. So there's lots of ways that you can enjoy your time at Kent outside of the classroom, whether it be sport, music, drama, or joining one of the many clubs and societies we have available. So there's lots of different ways for you to be active, to meet other people, and also just to take a break from your studies as well, because studying in the UK in particular can be quite intensive. And so this is a really good way to kind of enjoy your time in the UK. Very, very quickly, just looking at the accommodations, as I said, both Canterbury and Medway offer a variety of accommodation options. So if you are looking to stay on campus, it's always advisable to do your research and figure out what rooms and what budget you have, and then apply as early as you can. As soon as you get an offer from Kent and you accept that offer, you should then be applying for your accommodation. There is no deposit for accommodation, so you can reserve your room, and as long as you reserve by the end of June, you are guaranteed a room at either Canterbury or Medway. So just to kind of finish to talk about the main things of today's session is very much about the funding side. And I'm delighted to say that the University of Kent has once again partnered with the British Council to provide the Great Scholarships for Turkey. Its award is £10,000 towards the tuition fee. It's available for any subject at Kent, but as long as it's for a 1 year of study. The deadline for applications is Friday, the 26th of April. So you have just under a couple of months, so it's plenty of time to apply for your course and then apply for the scholarship when you can. It's really important to make sure that you know the application route, because you have to have an offer from Kent in order to apply for the scholarship. So it's really important that you get your application in first for your chosen course. Once you get that offer, it can be a conditional offer. You can then apply for the British Council's Great Scholarship. It's really important to remember that you have to submit an essay. So it's a 500-word essay on a topic that you've previously studied and wow, you found it interesting. And this statement does play a crucial part both in the shortlisting, but also in the final selections as well. So it's really important to provide the best statement that you can to support your Great Scholarship application. There are other funding opportunities available. So if you're sadly not successful for the Great Scholarship, there are lots of other scholarships you can apply for at Kent. We have the International Student Scholarship, which is worth £6,000. You do not need to submit a supporting statement, but you do need to have a very good academic record. And again, get an offer, either conditional or unconditional, by the 28th of March. So this one has a very tight deadline. So it is really important to get this application in as well. And the other good thing is you can apply to as many scholarships you're eligible for. So you don't have to just pick one. You can apply to all of them, and hopefully you'll be selected for one of the scholarships. And within the final 4 minutes I've got left, just to talk to you briefly about the other scholarships we have. So we have a number of subject-specific or activity-based scholarships. So within the business school, they do offer lots of different scholarships for PGT and PGR as well, including the early bird discount and also hardship bursaries that range from about a 10% discount up to a 25% fee discount. So it's always worth researching on the Kent website to see the different funding opportunities. The law school also offers a fee discount of £2,500 under the LLM Global Welcome Scholarship. The deadline for that is the 31st of July, so you have plenty of time. And the good thing is that you've got enough time then to apply for your LLM program and get your scholarship application in. And finally, if you have got a music or sports background, there's lots of scholarship opportunities through those activities as well. That was my whistle-stop tour through the University of Kent. Hope it's been useful. I hope I didn't speak too fast. I'm happy to share my slides with Summer afterwards.
Thank you. You've been like a roller coaster. So I think I have 1 or 2 questions for you.
Of course, fire away.
Just a sec. I think this is for you. Are there undergraduate architecture programs in Paris campus? If so, can we switch while studying in the UK campus for 1 semester or longer?
Yeah, unfortunately, no. So the Paris campus is predominantly postgraduate. It's only masters and PhD students, and they do tend to be on that kind of arts and creative program. So if you are looking to do maybe curating or film, for example, then they would have a Paris option. But for architecture, it's solely in the UK at the Canterbury campus.
Thank you. This question is not specifically for you, for University of Kent, but maybe you can answer. If we study undergraduate in the UK, are we required to take the IELTS again, or are we exempt from it?
So if you have studied in the UK, so you've completed a UK degree in the UK, then you would be eligible for a language waiver. So both the University of Kent and UK visas will consider that as a way of you demonstrating your proficiency. So if you have studied at degree level in the UK, you won't need to do an IELTS test.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we'll let you go and see you soon in Turkey, right?
Yes, definitely. I travel on Wednesday, so I always look forward to coming back. I hope the weather's a little bit better than what it is here in the UK at the moment.
It's better, much better.
Good. That's what I love to hear.
I got sick, and it was totally cold in Madrid. But surprisingly, Istanbul is brilliant. You'll love it.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to that.
By the way, I'm just, talking to the students, sharing this information with the students. Many universities are coming to Turkey these days. There are several education fairs. Check them online, and then you might meet these representatives at one of those fairs.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. March is full of exhibitions. Thank you, Emma, and see you.
Thank you, Samra. Thank you to the team. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Salvatore. Welcome.
Hello, Samra.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
You had a busy day today?
Yes, it's been busy. I was actually away. Away on a business trip last week, and as soon as came back, so it's been a long day with the webinar, but so far so good. Thank you very much for joining us. Can you share your slides with me?
Let me just do this now.
I hope you are fine, and probably you are coming to Turkey soon as well.
Yes, I'm coming. I'm going to Ankara 15th and coming to Istanbul on the 20th.
Okay.
Yep. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I shared it, and along with you, you are online.
Okay.
Yes, you can start.
Perfect. Okay. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for attending today's session about the University of Anglia Ruskin. My name is Salvatore, and I'm the Senior International Manager here at Anglia Ruskin. I'm also an alumni. I studied at this university. And today I'm just going to go through some information about the university, what is good at Anglia Ruskin, why I think is a great place for you to study at Anglia Ruskin, the courses that we offer, and obviously I will touch about the international great scholarship that we run along with the British Council. And obviously a big thanks to British Council for organizing this session today. So if you never heard Anglia Ruskin before, I can say that we are one of the well-established universities in the UK. And very recently, a couple of months ago, back in December, we won the award of the University of the Year from Times Higher Education in the UK. And this is a big achievement for us, as we've been, a university for many, many years. This award took into consideration many different factors, including the quality of teaching, as well as the contribution we have to the local society, local community here in the UK, and especially in the cities where we have our campuses, of which I'm going to talk in the next few slides. In addition of being awarded the University of the Year, we also been doing quite well in other categories. Important for you to know is that we have been awarded the Gold in Teaching Excellence Framework. You might not know much about it. Basically, it's an independent organization that assesses the quality of teaching at individual universities, and it goes from bronze, silver, and gold, with gold being the best quality of teaching at the institution. So we are very proud to have that. We are in the top 50 universities in the UK, according to the Times Higher Education World Rankings. And we've been doing pretty well for international students with regards to international graduate employment in the UK. In addition to that, we are a very, very proud and very innovative university. Even though we are considered one of the modern universities in the UK, our history goes back to 1858, where we started as a School of Art in Cambridge, and since we developed becoming a multidisciplinary university with different types of courses, more than 250 degree courses offered in different cities in the UK. Talking about our campuses, you can see here on the map where we are. So we have 3 main campuses, one in the city of Cambridge, which I will touch a bit into more details in the next couple of slides, another one in Chelmsford, and a third one in Peterborough. So they are all less than an hour from London by train or bus, and they are very well connected with international airports such as Stansted Airport, Heathrow, etc. And for those of you that you are very interested in being close to London, you can just grab the train anytime. They do run very frequently from all these 3 cities. What courses we offer? So we have different faculties. So I can start with our first faculty, our business and law faculty, and this is the list of courses we offer at the postgraduate level. As you can see there, we have courses for all tastes, from accounting and finance to human resources, international business, marketing, tourism, etc. And what I think is great about our postgraduate courses, as well as our undergraduate to a certain extent, is that you do get the option to do a 1 year or 10 weeks work placement. You will be able to go and work either in a company or participate in different projects on campus with academics, as well as doing work shadowing with others. So it will be a great opportunity to build a really good professional experience and put it on your CV. In addition, obviously, when you graduate, your postgraduate certificate will have, I don't know, MA International Business with professional experience. In addition to that, we also have a lot of facilities to help students gain even more professional experience during the course. One of them is our Bloomberg Lab for students doing anything related to finance, accounting, and banking. They will be able to access the Bloomberg Lab, which is basically as a stock exchange, a mock stock exchange, where students will be able to monitor shares, buy and sell, and be taught in that environment. Following the business and law, we have the arts, humanities, social sciences, and very recently education faculty. And from the name, you understand it's anything related to arts, social sciences, as well as education courses. Being more specific, you can study computer games art, you can study film and TV production, you can study linguistics, applied linguistics, English literature, as well as illustration and animation, and politics and international relations. We have the health and social care faculty. No more education there. We have changed it very recently. So if you're interested in studying health-related courses such as public health, medical science, pharmaceutical science, as well as nursing. You have these options at Anglia Ruskin. And we are one of the largest providers of health and social care in the UK. And we do work closely with the NHS, and we have industry standard skills rooms, as well as GP simulation rooms, where students will be able to get first-hand experience of how it is to work in a medical environment in the UK. Finally, we have our science and engineering faculty, where you will be able to study anything from computer science, artificial intelligence, network security, to engineering, architecture. We just introduced a master's in architecture, psychology, that I believe is quite popular with our students from Turkey, as well as sports science. What is very good about our Faculty of Science and Engineering is that the majority of our courses, they are accredited by the professional bodies in the UK. Oops, sorry about that. And, you know, for example, psychology, which is very, as I said, very popular with students from Turkey. We have the accreditation from the British Psychological Society. Anything related to applied bioscience, for example, we have the accreditation from the IBMS, the Institute of Biomedical Science in the UK. And obviously, we have all the facilities, all the labs where students will be able to practice. We have our super lab in our Cambridge campus, where there is 200 places for students doing different types of experiments, accessing different labs at the same times. And there are good opportunities as well for work experience during your studies. And these are our four faculties where you can study at Anglia Ruskin. And what you need to do to get into a postgraduate course at Anglia Ruskin is to have a degree in a relevant subject. That's the main point. So obviously, we do accept degrees from Turkey. With certain GPAs, 2.7 to 3. GPA will be absolutely fine. If you have a degree not in a relevant subject, in some situations you can be accepted depending on your work experience in the subject, in the area. Or it might be, you know, a bit related. We will consider as long as you have a really good personal statement when you apply. In addition to the academic requirements, we have our English language entry requirements. Generally speaking, for a postgraduate course, you're looking something between 6.5 to 7.5 IELTS, with no less than 5.5 in each component. Or we also accept TOEFL as well as one of the Cambridge examinations. Or we do offer our internal English tests that we can run in country. So for your information, I will be visiting Turkey in the next month. And, if you apply at the university and you have an offer, you can contact me and we can see the opportunity of the option of you taking our internal English test. What is the advantage of the English test is, first of all, obviously, it is free of charge for all our applicants, and you do get the results within 1-2 days, and it is accepted by the Home Office, the UKVI. So those are the entry requirements. How to apply for the courses is quite straightforward. That two different options. One, obviously, is the easiest, I would say, is to apply directly to the university. Once you go on our website, you can choose the name of the course you want to study, and there will be a link on the course page where we'll direct you to the application page, where you will need just to create a username and password, and you will be able to log in as many times as you want and complete the application there. Alternatively, you can use the UCAS application, which is the UCAS stands for University and Colleges Admission Service, where all UK and to a certain extent international students apply to universities in the UK. So when you apply, you will need to have your transcripts and certificates, even though at the application stage, this is not necessary. What I mean by that is some students think, do I need to have finished university before I can apply? No, you don't have to. You can just provide the transcripts from your current studies, from whichever year of your studies you are now, and what you think you will get once you complete your degree. And that's the same for your English qualifications. What you will need to provide at application stage is references. So it can be one of your professors at university, or if you're already working part-time or even at voluntary work, you can send a reference from your employer. A personal statement, motivation letter, why you want to study this particular course at Anglia Ruskin. Ideally, you should include a CV if you have work experience, which will help us to assess your application in a better way. Any courses that are related to art, you will need to provide a portfolio with them. And going to the great scholarship that, we are very proud to offer the great scholarship for, I believe it's the 4th consecutive year, specifically for Turkey. We had really great applicants and really great scholars in the past in different subjects. We had psychology, we had engineering, we had business. So we are really, really proud and happy to continue to be able to offer this great scholarship to our students from Turkey. It is worth £10,000. So, you do get a 10,000 deduction from the total fees of the courses, which are between £15,000 and £16,000. You do have a deadline by when you should apply, which is 24th of May, as you can see there. So to apply for the great scholarship, you will need to have applied already for the course you want to study, the master's you want to study, and have received an offer from the university. This offer can be conditional of you finishing your degree and providing the English qualification. So once you have applied and accepted the offer for your course, you will be able to apply for the Great Scholarship. And to apply for the Great Scholarship, you need to complete the application form that is available on Anglia Ruskin website. You will be able to download the form or complete it online. And after the closing after the deadline, 24th of May, within 2 weeks, we anticipate to inform students if there was which student was successful for the Great Scholarship. And you can apply for all postgraduate degree courses starting in September in 2024 at our Cambridge, Chelmsford and Peterborough campus. What are we looking for the Great Scholar? Very similar to what you have seen probably on the British Council website. We're looking somebody who has excellent academic background, specifically in the subject where the subject of the masters they want to do at Anglia Ruskin. They're very motivated, creative, and thinking outside the box. What does it mean then? It's just not about studies and being an excellent student, but also doing stuff outside of studies, voluntary work, sports, participating in different debates, showing that, you do like thinking outside the box, you do like challenging and asking questions, because when you come to study with us, it's not just about professors teaching you about the subject, but also you interacting with them and challenging them, asking questions, why this is like that, why is not in a different way. And that is the best way, the practical way of learning, as you might know, the style of teaching in the UK. And also, ideally, you will be active in the field of the areas you are applying, and have had some experience in, in engineering, or in business, or in psychology, and so on. And this kind of comes to an end, even though I think I have a problem with my presentation. I think something is missing from it, so I'm just gonna try to get another one, if you don't mind, if I have a couple more minutes, if it's okay, or
Well, we actually ran out of time. Out of time. Yes.
Okay.
3 minutes about more at the moment.
Oh, that's fine. No worries then. So I can take some questions if there are any.
Not actually specifically for Anglia Ruskin at the moment, but there are answered almost more than 40 questions already. They may actually come later on. If it's the case, I'll share it with you.
Okay.
Well, then thank you very much for your participation. Kerry is on the line, so I'll invite her to the stage.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hi,
Kerry, welcome.
Thank you. Just a quick second so I can share my screen. Let's see if this works now, Sembra. Can you see my screen now? If I go full screen as well.
Yes, coming, and
just go back to the first slide.
You're on.
Perfect. Thank you so much for inviting us to be part of this marathon session today about the great scholarship.
Absolutely.
I know it's been a long day, so I'm going to try to be as brief as possible about our university. So thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Kiri. I work for the University of Nottingham, and I'll give you a really quick introduction to our university and how to apply to our scholarship. First of all, just so I can get your bearings there and you know what we're talking about, the University of Nottingham is based in a city in the UK called Nottingham. We're in the centre of the UK, about 90 minutes away from London, very, very close to some of the other cities like Birmingham and Manchester. It's one of the largest cities in the UK, 7th, 8th largest, and so on. And the university is only about 20 minutes away from the city centre. We've got trams and buses running. It's a very vibrant city, a very student-friendly city, a very safe, diverse and friendly city as well. So a lot of our students who study with us really enjoy spending time. In the city centre, like I said, it's a really big city. You'll find anything from shopping malls to museums. We've got an underground cave system. We've got some historic landmarks, museums, art galleries and so on. And for the students who want to explore British cuisine, the British heritage, or have access to world food, again, everything is available throughout our city. Just a couple of pictures of what the city centre looks like, just because it's easier for you to visualize it. This is what our market square looks like. And we're very well known in our city for the Robin Hood legend and the Sherwood Forest. And again, if you visit us, you'll be able to visit the castle or take a picture with Robin Hood himself. And the other thing to point out, and you'll see that from our campus as well, it's a very, very green city. So right across from the campus, for example, you will find the very famous Wallington Hall. That is a really lovely park with several herds of deer that you can go and take pictures with. Now, coming on to the university and what the University of Nottingham is known for. So we are one of the top universities in the UK. We rank top 100 in the world, and several of our subjects will be top 5 or top 10 in the UK. We are a member of the prestigious Russell Group University, which in reality, what it really means is that we are very well known for our research. Some of our academics that will teach you not only teach, but they also write research papers, they publish journals, and then they use exactly the same labs, facilities and equipment that a lot of our students use. So what it means, especially if you're studying any or you're looking to study any science related subjects, is that the kind of equipment that you have access to is top notch and far superior to what you will actually need. When it comes to a university and your student experience, we are one of the largest universities in the UK in terms of student population. We have more than 35,000 students, and approximately 1 in 4 of our students are international. We have a really good reputation of welcoming students from Turkey. We're one of the most popular universities, and we have several hundred students from Turkey currently studying with us. We have 3 very beautiful campuses, and the way I want to mention them and show you some pictures is one, so you can visualize exactly where you'll be studying, but also I think what our campus looks like is one of our biggest selling points because it's such a beautiful campus. So our biggest campus, which is more than 300 acres, big, it takes about 25 minutes to walk from one end to the other, is called University Park. This is where we teach some of our most popular Turkish subjects, for example, engineering, architecture, law, languages, psychology, etc. And then, like I said, it's a very green and beautiful big campus. It has a very pretty lake and some really, really pretty gardens. For a fun fact, this is my favorite spot on campus to visit, especially when you know you want to distress and get away from some of your exams or assessments. Just a bit of an overview of what it looks like. Like I said, we've got a very beautiful lake, and all those sports pitches that you see there are part of our university. And as you can see, there are several buildings, both for teaching but also accommodation available there. The next campus I want to mention, which is very close by to this one, is our Jubilee campus. This is known for its more modern and futuristic architecture. This is where we teach our business school subjects, computer engineering, education, and then for any students we need to take professional courses. Again, those are being taught here as well. For example, here you can see one of our libraries. And like I said, it's slightly different to the University Park campus in terms of architecture, but very, very close by. So the students do have the option of staying at either or, as you'll find, again, sports facilities, teaching facilities, and hostel residence on this campus as well. Thirdly, and this campus is only relevant to any of the students who are interested in biosciences or veterinary medicine, we've got our Sutton Bonington campus that is located in the countryside. It takes about 20 minutes from the University Park campus to get there. We do provide a free university bus that can take our students there directly, and it's placed in the countryside by default of the subjects that we teach there. As you can see, there's lots of like rural areas around it because we've got farmhouses and greenhouses there for the students to experience in practice exactly what they're learning in theory through their courses. Like I mentioned, we do have a free university bus that links all of our campuses. You can find the timetable there. So getting or commuting between campuses is very, very easy. And like I said, very, very close to the city centre as well. It only takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And we've got buses and trams to connect you. So you get the best of both worlds. You've got a campus-based university. You're only surrounded by your peers. You're surrounded by very green spaces. Everything is close together, so you don't spend a lot of time travelling. But you're also very close to all the amenities that the centre of Nottingham has to offer. I've briefly mentioned that we also have hostel residence available on our campus, so we do guarantee you a place in one of our dorms if you wanted to stay on campus. If you're arriving as an international student, sometimes this is easier because accommodation in installments, and we do welcome you to apply for your accommodation as soon as possible once you apply, because we do make offers out on a first come first served basis. Usually with UK accommodation, you do not share your room with anyone else. You will have your own bedroom, study area, desk, chair, wardrobe, and so on. You may have your own private bathroom, or you may be sharing a bathroom. And for all our postgraduate students looking to study masters, we only offer self-cater halls, so you have access to a really big kitchen where you'll be able to prepare your meals, socialize, and so on. We do have a team based on our hostel residence as well, that's going to help you make friends, and they will also be your first point of contact for any pastoral care issues that you may want to raise with them. Now, coming on to the nitty-gritty of how to get accepted into our university, I've put there for you some information about how to get accepted onto our master's entry requirements. I know most of you will be here trying to having questions about the GRADE scholarship, which is a master's scholarship, but if we do have any undergraduate students on this call, I'll be very happy to let you know a little bit more about those entry requirements as well. Typically, for most of our courses, we will ask for a 2-1, which is a UK degree classification. Our university equates that to a GPA of 3 and above, about 70%, but we do make some allowances, and we show some flexibility for what we deem prestigious Turkish universities. So don't worry if you are what we call a near miss. If you're slightly below that entry requirement, I will still encourage you to apply, because if you have a quality application, then you're very likely to gain access to the course. In addition to that, we also have some English language entry requirements. We accept a variety of qualifications, including IELTS, TOEFL, O-levels, and so on. Typically will last between a 6 to a 7.5. You can find all the information available on our website. In terms of financial investment, I'm really sorry about if you're hearing a noise. I'm currently traveling on university business, so I'm in a hotel. I think someone might be trying to call me. In terms of like living expenses, Nottingham is one of the most affordable cities in the UK, so the cost of living is considerably lower compared to the other big cities, especially rent prices, where you're looking at least half of the London rent prices. We recommend you budget about £12,000 to £15,000 per year to include both your accommodation and living expenses. And in terms of the fees, you can expect to pay from £22,000 and above, depending on the course that you're interested in. Like I mentioned, I know that a lot of you will be here today to find out more about the British Council scholarships. You do have the opportunity to access a £10,000 tuition fee reduction if you're successful in receiving the scholarship. We do have one scholarship for one student from Turkey this year, and the deadline to apply will be the 15th of May. To be eligible, you need to be a Turkey passport holder, you need to be classed as an overseas fee student, and you need to have received an offer to study with us in what we call a PGT, a postgraduate taught course, so a master's course from Nottingham this coming September. We encourage you to fit the British Council's profile of a great scholar. I've put there some of the requirements, so to be motivated, to be willing to discuss your experiences, and to be willing to act as an ambassador for the British Council after graduation. And then just to give you a flavour of what we need as part of the application criteria, we will ask you a series of questions around your achievements, your study plans, and the reasons for choosing your university. There's a strict word count, so I do encourage you to leave a little bit of time for you to think about your responses before applying, and I've put there some of the questions that we may ask you. So like I said, it's a lot around why you want to study your chosen program, why Nottingham, your future ambitions, and some of your achievements so far. Lastly, a last few things to mention, because I do believe we're running out of time. A big reason of studying at the University of Nottingham is how well valued and recognised our degrees are. We're the second most studied university by UK employers, so our degrees will put you in a really good position to be able to secure graduate employment later on. We do have one of the most award-winning career service that you can make access have access to. They'll give you support from one-to-one counselling to discuss your career options. They will help you build your very first CV, practice for interviews, will bring recruitment, alumni, employers on campus to speak to you. And please keep in mind that as international students, you can also work for 20 hours part-time during your studies to supplement your income, and that will also go a long way in building your experience to gain graduate schemes and other jobs later on. Lastly, when it comes to the student experience, like I mentioned, we're one of the largest universities in the UK. We always keep Wednesday afternoons free for our students to explore their own interests and extracurricular activities. Those, again, will go a long way for our students to be able to speak comfortably about their skills when it comes to interviews and gaining jobs afterwards. So you will have access to our Students' Union that runs over 300 student clubs and societies, anything from music, Quidditch. We've got a Taylor Swift Society, a skydiving society, a Quidditch society, lots of cultural and national societies, including a Turkish society, and lots of volunteering opportunities. And finally, the last thing to mention, and what we're very well known for, is being the top university for sports in the UK. We've got over 75 sports clubs for you to join. A lot of our students play competitively, some play for fun, so we do welcome you to access some of our sports facilities that include lots and lots of outdoors pitches, indoors gyms, climbing walls, swimming pool, a dojo, and so on. So there's something there for everyone. That's all from me. In terms of next steps, please have a look on our website. We offer a variety of courses from sciences to social sciences, law, engineering, health sciences, and so on. Everything will be available on our website, including our entry requirements. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiri. And let me check if we have any questions for you. Not at the moment, but if we do, I'll pass it on to you.
Definitely. I'll put
Later
my
on.
email address in the chat as well for anyone who wants to get in touch. Thank you so much, Sandra.
Excellent. Thank you. Now we welcome Mette Cameron from University of Edinburgh. Welcome, Mette.
Hello, Semra. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely fine.
Now, can you see any of my slides or is it not working?
I'll share your slides right now, right away. It's coming.
Oh,
yeah, it's a bit slow. Your slides are on at the moment.
Okay.
If you make it full screen, that will be great.
Okay. There you go. Can you see it all now?
Yes, all good now.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Super.
Over to
Well,
you.
thank you very much. I have just taken over from a colleague who unfortunately was off sick. So hopefully you will bear with me as I run through these slides. But if I don't cover anything in these that you would like to know, please take a note of our email address, futurestudents@ed.ac.uk, and we're happy to answer any questions that you may have. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about Edinburgh. So Edinburgh is the capital city of Scotland, which is the northern part of the United Kingdom. And it is an ancient university that we have that is sitting right in the middle of Edinburgh city. And that is really beneficial to have the campus right in the middle of it because you are in the midst of everything that's going on, from one of the largest arts festivals that happens every year in Edinburgh. But also it's a World Heritage Site. So you are in amongst some fantastic architecture and it is really an exciting and interesting place to live. And I'm completely biased, so I'm just going to be honest about that. Edinburgh is relatively small. It has about 500,000 people in it, so it's really easy to get around, but also it feels very homely in that sense in terms of people being very welcoming and friendly. And it's also easy to get out and about and explore out with Edinburgh as well. So those are some of the positives about Edinburgh as a place. The University of Edinburgh Business School has over 100 years of teaching. We are triple accredited, which means that, you know, if you apply and come and study with us, there is a certain quality in terms of what we are teaching and also our research. Depending on the course as well, we work with a number of professional accreditation bodies as well, which then helps if you have studied a master's with us in, say, accounting and finance, that may help you towards some of the CFA or other accounting professional bodies exams. There might be the opportunity to not have to sit as much, and that is of benefit. We have around 700 postgraduate taught students every year, so that's across our master's and MBA programs. We are really diverse and international. We have over 70 different nationalities across our master's programs. The teaching we do is very much research-led, being a Russell Group institution, and therefore you're learning from some of the latest things that are happening in terms of research and industry insights as well, which is fantastic opportunity. Some of the rankings, the university itself is ranked 22nd in the QS World University Rankings, so we are very high up in terms of those rankings, but we're also quite proud of some of the other individual rankings for our programs, and indeed that we are 15th in the world for the sustainability rankings as well, which is something that, of course, everyone is finding is more and more important. For the Great Turkey Scholarships, the scholarship is available against some of our master's programs within the business school, and I have listed these here. So some of these fit within the management area or analytics, finance or marketing. So there's a few different programs in there, and I would just kind of touch on some of the nuances in terms of the admission side of things. So for some of these programs, you will need to have studied certain subjects in order to be considered. So for example, and some of these hopefully will make sense, for things like our accounting or finance programs, you will need some quants level background. So generally you will need to have done a degree in accounting, finance, business or economics, or some sort of related subjects. So some of these will also accept engineering, for example, for some of the finance related programs. And very much that is so that you can cope on the program. So the finance program as well specifies that you have to have done one quantitative based course in something like linear algebra, calculus, statistics, or alternatively, if you can show that you've done this through work experience, we will also consider that. The specifics are on the website in terms of what the entry requirements are. So I would suggest that for some of these, it's worth having a look, but this just gives you a little bit of a sense for some of these ones, what you will require in terms of background. For more generic programs like our management one, you could actually come from any degree background. You don't have to have a business or specific subject area. So that is a much broader one. And part of that is because sometimes individuals who perhaps have done something different, like a science subject, are thinking about, for example, starting their own business, and therefore they need those kind of entrepreneurship or innovation or management skills in order to do so. So we've left that quite broad in order for you to join those programs as well. I've listed some of these others here as well. So marketing, again, you can have business or management, but also we will consider other subject areas. And quite often it's dependent on really you showing the motivation for studying it. And then finally, business analytics, we do have, just like some of the other finance programs, some very specific requirements. So you will need to have done something like management science, statistics, maths, econometrics. And this is again because there is that quantitative element. You know, it's very kind of mathematical, this course, but also then goes into programming. And although you don't necessarily have to have done lots of programming, quite often it is helpful if you've done at least a little bit in your undergraduate degree or have had some work experience in that area. In terms of admissions requirements, we need a strong performance in your bachelor's, and if there are specific subject areas that we ask for, like in the finance program, the maths one, then you will need to show high grades in those areas. GMAT tests are not required. For our equivalency for Turkey, you require a GPA of 3.0 or 80%, but we will also consider those that have slightly less, 2.8 or 75%, depending on where you have studied, the more prestigious universities, or if you have kind of relevant work experience as well. Again, all the entry requirements can be found on the website. In terms of what documents are required for admissions, we need a degree certificate if you've graduated. If you haven't graduated yet, the kind of most recent transcript it will be looked at. One reference generally. We need a personal statement and then also an English language certificate. You can apply without the English language certificate to start with, but you would only then ever get a conditional offer. So that is just something to bear in mind. For the application, I can only give advice to look at what you put together for your personal statement. 60% of the decision making for admissions for our school is based on academic performance, but 40% is non-academic. And a lot of that is taken from the personal statements. So please put in if you've done any work experience or why you really want to do this subject area and what you can bring to the learning community within the University of Edinburgh Business School as well. Think about what your aspirations are, what you hope to achieve for the future. All these things are really valuable to put into your personal statement. So I can only advise to really think about that as part of the process. Application deadlines, we run kind of staged or rounds of admissions. So the next application deadline is the 24th of April and you would hear by the 6th of June. The great scholarships for Turkey, I believe the deadline is the 15th of May. So I'm just trying to put that in context next to the applications that we have. We also give you support in terms of career development. And we have a fantastic student development team who help to give support for professional and career development. So professional development is perhaps thinking about what skills you might need for the role that you want to do. And therefore, you can sign up to workshops. You might discover that you think you might need to do negotiation or other things or presenting in your future career. And therefore, we can help you and guide you and also support you with some coaching towards that. But we also have kind of career development opportunities, which are your kind of job hunting things that you might need, like building a LinkedIn profile or creating a fantastic CV, those kind of things. So we kind of two-tier support you in that sense through our student development team. We also engage quite a lot with industry. We find that is really important for your development, but also for your opportunity to network and understand what career opportunities there might be, or indeed have the potential to meet future employers. So we run workshops, panels, we have consultancy projects. We also do a fantastic Employability and Careers Expo every year. We invite different employers to come along, and we do some treks. And I know that sounds like we're going to go hiking, but they are actually treks in terms of visiting different companies and organizations to understand what's important to them and for you to learn a little bit about different options going forward. In addition to the student development team who help you with the kind of career and professional development, we also have a dedicated student advisor who helps you with the kind of academic side of things, as well as well-being and mental health support. So those are all things that are there. You also have program directors and course organizers that you can contact and liaise with any queries you have as well. So we're very much thinking about supporting our students as you go through your journey with us. So just to say, if you have any questions, please email futurestudents@ed.ac.uk, and also you can find all the information about studying with us on our website. And that is it. I hope that's okay in terms of timings.
Yes, lovely. It's just sharp on time. Thank you, Mette, for joining us today.
Thank you.
I don't see any questions at the moment, but if we do, we'll email Dagmar, or they will, I'm sure, contact you at the details you've just shared. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
And Adri from University of Glasgow. Let me see. I think.
Hello.
Yes. Now, yeah, I see you and I hear you.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that's
yes.
amazing. Okay, great.
Yes, if you can share your slides, that would be great. We have very dedicated audience. It's been like almost 3.5 hours and people are on the line.
Lovely.
Yes, and 2 final webinars, and then we are finishing the day. Your slides are on.
Excellent.
And you can start now.
Okay, brilliant. So thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Audrey Hortobagi. I work at the University of Glasgow. I work in the international team of the University of Glasgow. And basically, I will just tell you about the university. We are moving from Edinburgh to Glasgow. So basically, we are staying in the central belt of Scotland. I will give you a couple of details about Scotland itself as well, but let's talk about the university. So this is what you can see on the slide is the University of Glasgow. The building really looks like this. It's an old university. It is also actually one of the ancient universities in Scotland. We've been around since the 15th century, and we are very, very proud of the fact that we are one of the first of 400 universities. So as you can see on the slide, we ranked very, very high, both on the QS and the Times Higher Education rankings. We are also well known for our sustainability rankings. So we try to put a lot of emphasis on sustainability at the University of Glasgow, and also our impact in general, impact on community, impact on the environment, again, impact sustainability-wise. And because of that, as you can tell based on the slide, we are very highly ranked globally. We are also the Scottish University of the Year this year. This is the second time in 4 years. and we are part of the very prestigious Russell Group. So the Russell Group is basically the Ivy League of the United Kingdom. It is actually a group of prestigious universities that focus a lot actually on research. And if you come here to study at the University of Glasgow, you will definitely feel this, because you will be learning from leaders, you will learning for experts actually, or researchers who are really doing a state-of-art, really groundbreaking research in their field. We are also very proud of the fact that we are extremely international, and we try to put a lot of emphasis on this as well. So we have 43,000 students this year from 140 countries. In terms of where you will be studying rather if you come to Glasgow, this is actually a very typical lowland Scottish landscape. This is what you would see around actually the area here in Glasgow. And as a matter of fact, Scotland is a beautiful city. So I think you heard from Edinburgh about the opportunities around Edinburgh. Glasgow is a bit different, and I will tell you a bit more about the city in a second. But basically, from both cities, it's extremely easy to get out to the countryside and explore actually the country, the cultural, and also obviously the outdoor scene that we offer. We have actually a lot of interesting engineering features here as well, or attractions rather. So this is actually Glasgow. This is what you see if you come to Glasgow and go down to the River Clyde, which is the biggest river in Glasgow. And in terms of opportunities, Glasgow has a lot to offer. It has a very rich industrial history. It is actually the biggest city in Scotland. It is not the capital. The capital is Edinburgh, but this is the biggest city. And it is big enough for anybody to find actually all the opportunities or everything basically that they would be looking for in a big city, but it is still small enough to get around. And actually it is a very livable, very convenient city, and people are very, very friendly. So Glasgow is actually well known for the very welcoming, very warm environment. As a matter of fact, it was voted the first friendliest city back in 2022, and this wasn't the first time. We have a lot of cultural events here. We have also a lot of industries here and company headquarters in Glasgow. And as I said, it's a large city. But despite of its extremely rich industrial history, it's also a very green city. You will see on the next slide that basically the area around the university is a huge park, but besides that, we have 90+ parks and green spaces that students can enjoy when you study in the city. We are also a UNESCO City of Music. So basically every day you will find a live music event at the area of the university, basically everywhere in the city as well. And we are well known for our sports events. So basically Glasgow has a very vibrant, very lively environment, a very multicultural environment as well. And we attract, because of that, a lot of different events and a lot of different businesses as well. So this is the University of Glasgow from the bird's eye view. So in the middle, you see actually the main building, and just behind the main building, we have the University Library, which is one of the biggest university libraries in the world, and also in Europe. And just next to it, we have the Student Services building. So as you can tell, this is a very compact campus. It's very easy to get from A to B. It's very easy to get around actually. Basically anything you need would be in walking distance. Also, we have a huge development happening on campus at the moment. So what you can see on the left-hand side of the slide, so those are actually faculty buildings. That's where our colleges and teaching and learning facilities are. But we now also have a new teaching and learning hub. So we are going through actually a huge expansion, because we try to make sure that our students have access to state-of-art, modern teaching and learning facilities where they can actually collaborate together. So they have the opportunity to book a collaborative study space, or where they can just actually work on their own projects on their own. So individual study spaces will be available as well for them. We also try to make sure that our science and engineering courses have obviously the facilities that students need. So we have now a new research center, which is an interdisciplinary research center where different schools, colleges, people from different backgrounds can work together on research projects. We also have a new Adam Smith Business School. So our business school has a new building basically, and actually we have just opened our Institute for Health and Wellbeing. So loads are happening on campus at the moment. So besides the old building, which is really lovely building that you saw in the photo earlier, we also have very modern teaching and learning facilities. And this is actually the interior of the new teaching and learning hub. So as you can see, it's very, very spacious. This is the ground floor. So this is basically where the cafeteria is and where students obviously just sit down and study. But it has quite a few floors where they can actually book study spaces. In terms of subject areas that we offer, we've been around for quite some time, so we have a lot of different subject areas that students can choose from. Basically, we have all the arts, humanities and social sciences and engineering, education, life sciences, law sciences, computing science, etc. available. So if you have any interest in any of the subject areas that are listed on the slide, chances are that you will find actually a course for those. Like everywhere else in Scotland, the duration of a master's degree is typically a year. So basically, we are very similar from that respect to any other Scottish universities. In terms of entry requirements, we require for our master's courses a 2-1 honours degree or the international equivalent. And in case of Turkey, that would be pretty much a GPA of 3 or better in a bachelor's degree. Please do check out the course page on our website before you apply, because you need to make sure that you also meet the subject-specific requirement for the postgraduate course. So if you go to the website and search for the subject area that you're interested in, all the postgraduate courses will pop up in the subject area, and you can just click on the link on the website for the course page, and the entry requirements part will list the subject-specific requirements. In terms of English language requirements, we accept all of the well-known English language tests. The minimum requirements are on the slides that you can see at the moment, but please bear in mind that we always have sub-test requirements when it comes to English language, and some of our courses have higher overall requirement as well. A very good example would be law, where we require a minimum a 7 as an overall score in IELTS, and the TOEFL score would be much higher as well. So how to apply? The application process is very straightforward. You can apply actually directly on the Glasgow University website. If you go to the course page, on the right-hand side, there is a nice wee green button saying apply now. And basically, you can just click on that link and it will take you to the application portal where you can fill in all your details, and you can also attach all the documents that are required. Basically, we ask for your undergraduate transcript, degree transcript, your degree certificate. If they are not in English, you will have to provide an English language translation, and we also require a proof of your English language abilities, so you will need to actually attach an English language test result in general, and we would ask for your passport photo page. You don't have to submit everything when you apply, but basically, obviously, the more complete your application is, the faster you will get, obviously, the offer from us. Besides these documents, sometimes we also ask for additional documents. Certain courses might require a CV, might require a personal statement. If that's the case, that will be all listed on the course page on the website, or the admissions team, after they review the application, will get back to you and ask for you to submit these documents. So after you applied, we will get back to you, obviously, with the response. It will be either an offer, a conditional or unconditional offer, or obviously if you don't meet the academic requirements, and unfortunately your application will be unsuccessful. If you receive an offer and it's a conditional offer, that means that we are still asking for documents from you, for instance, in which case the conditions of your offer will be listed on the offer letter, with actually the deadline by which you would need to meet the offer of your condition, the conditions of your offer, sorry, and also actually the deposit requirement. So please check the offer letter in details, and please get back to us or let us know if you struggle with either meeting the conditions of your offer, or if you need more time potentially to pay your deposit. So applications are open now, and obviously the earlier you apply, the better chance you have to get on the course. We typically have a phased application process in place for most of our programs, which means that we have application rounds. So if you check the apply now or how to apply part of the course page on our website, you will see all the rounds for the certain programs. And basically that will tell you deadline by which you need to apply, and also the deadline by which the admissions team will get back to you and let you know the outcome of your application. We typically make the decision on application based on your academic achievements. If we need a personal statement or a CV, as I mentioned earlier, you will be asked to provide those documents. In terms of the Great Scholarship, basically you can find all the information on this on our website. I just thought that I would add here a slide where you can actually check basically the details. Most of our programs are actually eligible for the scholarship, and obviously the one of the criteria for the application is that you receive or have an offer already from us. You can find further information on all the eligible programs on our website. The link is actually just at the bottom of the slide. But if anybody has any questions, obviously we'll be very happy to answer that as well. In terms of the tuition fees, I wanted to highlight this basically that obviously the Great Scholarship is not necessarily a full scholarship, which means that you will have to consider the rest of the tuition fee for the course. And this is just actually a ballpark number that you can see on the slides for the tuition fee for most of our courses. You can check the exact tuition fee for the course that you're interested in on the course page on our website. In terms of what to expect in Glasgow, accommodation we try to provide to our postgraduate students, and we do have quite a few options when it comes to postgraduate residence halls. You can find all the information on our website. But again, if you have any questions on this, we would be very, very happy to answer any of those, and I will share the contact details on the next slide as well. The cost of living that you need to calculate with is also actually listed on the website, but I wanted to add a slide just that you know what to calculate with. And besides accommodation, we also have several other services that you can actually take advantage of when you are studying here. That includes a career service team that tries to make sure that our students are prepared for their next steps. So they provide regular trainings, workshops, networking events, and fairs actually to our students where they can meet, for instance, industry professionals. They can also do internships and also part-time job options, basically. And basically that was all from my side. If you have any questions, please do get in touch with us on the email address that you can see on the slide, or Semra has my email address as well, so please feel free to email me as well directly. That was all from my side. I hope I didn't run over.
No, not at all. Thank you very much. We don't have any questions specifically for you, but if we do get any, I'll pass it on to you.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much, Semra.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day. Bye bye.
You too. Take care. Bye bye.
Şimdi Türkçe'ye dönüyorum arkadaşlar. Son üniversitemiz maalesef benzer sorundan dolayı, teknik nedenlerden dolayı katılamıyor. Bu durumda bana da yayını bitirmek düşüyor. Great burslarını tanıtmak için gerçekleştirdiğimiz web seminerinin sonuna geldik. Katıldığınız ve sonuna kadar yayında bizimle kaldığınız için teşekkür ederiz. Umarız burslardan birine veya birkaçına başvurur ve kazananlardan biri de siz olursunuz. Eğitiminizde başarılar diliyorum. Başka web seminerlerinde de görüşmek üzere diliyorum. Bu yayınları da küçük küçük üniversite bazında da yayınlar halinde bölüp paylaşmayı düşünüyoruz ilerleyen günlerde. En kısa sürede ama bütün linki de sizinle paylaşacağım. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz. Başka dediğimiz gibi web seminerlerinde de görüşmek üzere. Kendinize iyi bakın. İyi akşamlar. Hoşça kalın.